Hello, Play the Game family. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
This episode is brought to you by Sunday Paintball. Sunday Paintball is one of the most amazing brands in the business right now. Their whole mission is to be the Tom Shoes of paintball and give players more Sundays. What does that mean exactly? They are donating 50% of all of their profits on any of their things right back into the game to the players, to you guys that are listening right now. How exactly do they do this? Well, you could head over to their website, sundaypaintball.com. They have a tracker of how much money they have and will continue to give away. And what they do is they set up booths at events. They give out paint to teams. They give out, donations and gift certificates to different fields. They do an amazing job of giving back to the community that we all love. And it's really special. It's something that is very unique. We are incredibly appreciative and supportive of them because their passion is to help grow the sport. So if you guys could head over to sundaypaintball.com, check out any of their merchandise. They have so much cool stuff on their website. You can use code PLAYTHEGAME, get a 20% discount, and do a great thing by knowing that some of that money is going back to getting more players out to play on Sundays.
This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram, @LoneWolfPB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. Today's episode of PTG is brought to you by Transfuse, the amazing premium rapid hydration multiplier and immunity fortifying formula that is scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. And they use all natural ingredients in their products. It is packed full of zinc, vitamin B6, vitamin C, sodium, potassium, and choline. And when you take this product, you are going to feel the difference on and off the field. I know that playing paintball with Transfuse has been a game changer, and it will be for you as well. If you head over to translabs.com, that's translabs.com, and use code PLAYTHEGAME, you will get 10% off. And if you subscribe to a monthly delivery service, you get an additional 10% off. So you can take advantage of a total of 20% off on these amazing products. Also, head over to their Instagram @transfuse.official and check them out, and be on the lookout for their new flavors and brain booster nootropics that are coming soon. We absolutely love Transfuse from top to bottom, one of the best companies in the world with the greatest people running it. So head on over and become a part of their community and check them out. This episode is brought to you by the one and only G2 Paintball. If you are in Arizona or on the West Coast and soon to be nationally, be on the lookout for G2 training dates and be sure to sign up. They are a paintball athletics company designed to help you become the best paintball athlete imaginable by running you through all of the different moves and techniques that you need to know and you're going to be implementing on the paintball field. So that way when you get into the situations, the muscle memory is dialed in. You are also going to learn skills. You're going to learn tactics, and of course the agility, which is training to maximize your performance on and off the field. This stuff is used by myself and Marcelo, and we're pushing paintball players to become pro or just dominate in your division. Don't make excuses out there. Physical fitness is at an all-time high in paintball, and you cannot win paintball tournaments unless you are ready to go physically on Sunday when you're dead tired and you're ready to hold up that trophy with your friends and family. So you got to be prepared, and G2 will help you do that. Head on over to g2paintball.com. Also check out their Instagram @G2Paintball, and give our man Victor Gamboa at Gamboa Limited. That's his Instagram. A follow and support him as well. It's owned and operated by Victor and Rusty, and they're doing tremendous things in the sport. We absolutely love G2, and we cannot wait for you to get involved. So have some fun with G2 Paintball.
What's going on, PTG fam? Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. As always, we are really excited for this episode. We have the young phenom, Jesse Stevens, who has just taken the pro scene by storm the last couple years. His game has really elevated to the next level and has become known as one of the most elite attackers on one of the best teams in the world. So getting to sit down with Jesse and talk about his upbringing and really how he has developed himself to become one of the more feared players in the league was offered a ton of great insight. This is an episode you guys definitely don't want to miss. Jesse is just absolutely dynamite, a great person, both on and off the field. He's just one of those elite individuals. So here's a piece, a little section and a deep dive into the mindset of Jesse Stevens.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
PTG Nation, we got him. Jesse Stevens from San Antonio X Factor on the show with us. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing, brother?
I'm great. Glad to be here, guys. Thank you for having me.
Always, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ty, what was that? San Antonio?
Did I mess it up?
It rolled off the tongue a little funny.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's been a long day, dude. It's, parent life, running around, melting into a million different things, but hanging in there.
Bro, you're super dad over there. I saw you were in the classroom today with young Theo.
Actually, that was from our teacher.
Snap.
Yeah, Miss Long snapped a photo because Theo read Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss in front of the whole class, which is pretty epic. I'm super proud of him. I mean, just like at any age, getting in front of your whole class and reading is super nerve-wracking, but
oh yeah,
he crushed it. And he was able to read. That was his favorite book. They're bringing their favorite book to school, so he did that today. It was pretty cool.
Nice. Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Jesse, brother, dude. Yeah, like Tyler said, man, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. I know you reposted a clip from the Tom episode we were talking about you. I was like, we got to get him on the show. I'm like, well, here we go. Let's do it. It's long overdue for sure.
Yes. No, we talked actually at the X Factor Paintball Park about this, and I'm so happy you're here, dude. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Big fan of the show. Big fan of everything you guys are doing. I mean, just the more media, the better. And you guys have come onto the scene and just taken everything by fire. And it's just awesome to hear a lot of these stories, a lot of the legends come on and talk. I mean, for me, always forever a paintball nerd at heart, and just just listening to everything. I mean, it means a lot to me. Like the Bob Long episode alone, I was just like,
dude,
wait, like hearing Morgan Freeman, like God talking. I'm like, oh my God, this guy.
That was awesome. Crazy.
I try my best to just listen to each one, and going home to Louisiana, I get to knock out like 2 or 3.
There we go.
So
damn, that's legendary. Well, thanks.
Good.
You're a honorary PTG fan. That one with Bob was crazy. It took us like 2 weeks to get him on. I shipped him headphones. They didn't work. He said
it was so funny, bro.
Yeah, that's so good. But no, like each and every one is unique in its own way, and just hearing all the stories, it's awesome.
That's why I threw the twang on the San Antonio there, for a little extra on that.
I'm a Louisiana boy. I love it.
Yeah, baby. Let's go. Shout out to the Lou.
Dude,
shout out to the Lou, baby.
Let's go.
That's how you know you're doing something right. Anytime the pros create something, if the other pros, use it, listen to it, watch it, whatever it is, that's how you know you did it right. Because the other pros are like the toughest critics, and so it's always like, is this actually cool? Or like, are your peers kind of like, that's, that's stupid, that's lame. But it's so cool that so many of the players listen to the show. And it's cool for us too, because it's like, we really take our competitive hat off, right? Like anytime I get behind this mic with Tyler, in this setting, we get to be fans too, of the players, rather than if it weren't for this show, it's like, we're not having these conversations with people just because we're trying to beat you, and you guys are trying to beat us. And so it's like it's a different dynamic,
Yeah.
But it's a cool platform that we've been able to create and share with everybody.
Oh, absolutely. And you guys are batting 1,000. I mean, there's so many great stories out there, and you're going the distance to get them out there. So you're doing a big favor to the paintball community.
Yo, did you guys see another paintball clip on SportsCenter's Instagram today?
Yeah, that's right.
Nuts, dude. It's pretty tight. they're starting to notice. And of course, like I look at all the metrics because I want to see how well does it do in comparison to their other stuff. It's of course blowing all the other stuff out of the water again. Like the paintball community just shows out anytime, you know, a big outside, you know, brand or company or whatever post anything about paintball. And so it's great to see. Good job, community out there. Everybody that went and commented and shared, like they see that for sure, you know, and they see the metrics. So to them, they're like, hey, we might as well keep posting paintball stuff because we get the best engagement on it, you know? Like that's the best way we can, you know, show out for the community. So if you guys haven't seen it,
it's gonna snowball. It's like
totally.
One of these days they're gonna get like a nasty clip of somebody, you know, within the pro division getting a 5-pack or whatever, doing some crazy shit and just
I'm not gonna lie.
You know it, Tyler winning 3-on-1s and shit.
Let's go.
Marcelo getting golden barrels. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
man,
game,
it's
dude, it's one of the most thrilling things you'll ever do in your life is play paintball. I've done it all. I've played all extreme sports. I've played traditional sports. I'm a sports fanatic, you know, even martial arts, you know, and Marcelo as well with martial arts. And there's nothing that quite gives the thrill of that. It's like that cat and mouse, like you're a kid again, you know, like it just makes you feel like a youngster running around playing, you know, just a fun game with all your friends.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah. About it.
I've been submitting clips now to Omar, you know, that's the guy that runs a Sports Center account. Cause I would love for them to see like some high level, you know, professional clips. You know, they have divisional players, which is amazing. And shout out to that dude. I think his name's Maddie. I reached out to him anyway. And I, you know, sometimes messages, they slip through the cracks and I apologize, but I went to send him a message and realized he had sent me a message. Ty, actually, I think he probably sent it to both of us. I think it was in like December, maybe of last year. And he was talking about, you know, PTG and how it inspired him to kind of do more with social media and start creating these clips and content. And then here he is on Sports Center. I'm like, dude, you're the most famous paintball player in the world. It's tight.
Yeah, it's amazing. He was pouring it up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, dude. He was letting it rip. That gun did not stop shooting.
All the reels that are coming out too, like all the stuff Rye Guy and Quinn are doing right now. I mean, I don't know all the metrics on it, but it just seems like that guy came onto the scene and he's sitting at like what, 250,000 followers right now?
Yes.
Instagram, it's insane. Like 10 million views. You and Rainey's clip from our prelim match where y'all went at each other.
Yep.
I mean, that had like 10 million views on it or something.
We were going crazy. That was such a fun game. Oh,
it's an NFT now. I mean, shit, we made it.
Yeah,
we made it.
Dude,
it's an NFT.
I own that moment. I own that that NFT. It's the first paintball NFT ever that is for the pro ranks there. And shout out to Steven Sharman. He's messaged me recently about getting the fellow that was on Sports Center, the one pouring it up and playing in that point on the show, because I guess he has a really big following as well. He's got like 60
million followers on TikTok.
Yeah, so we definitely want to pick his brain on how he's been able to accomplish that as well, because he is crushing it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the algorithm on TikTok is like, they've done a good job of letting engagement just kind of happen and assist with engagement, which, you know, gets people addicted to the platform, right? Like that's what TikTok was, you know, everybody was aware that you put stuff on TikTok, like you get all these hits. It started to happen, like Marky was blowing up on TikTok and Instagram now with Reels, like, of course, what do you think they want to do? They want to, you know, take away TikTok. The same thing they did with stories to Snapchat, you know? So of course they're like, oh, you know what? Let's offer a platform where you get really good engagement. So it is cool. It's a unique opportunity for our sport to, you know, continuously have, you know, players and influencers and media sharing stuff to get it seen by more eyes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Rye Guy, I actually met him. I met him at a clinic I did with like some of the Blast Camp guys, and this was when he had nothing. I mean, this is day one.
Rye I was
Guy,
with you, right? It was that weekend?
It was actually, I went out on a solo mission, or like a overnighter. I just flew in, did a training, flew out the same day with those guys, and he was day one, had nothing. He was like building his camera portfolio and everything that he was going to use on the field, and he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going for it. And as he stands here today now, like you said, he's got $250,000. So anything you want to do, just put your passion, your heart to it and love it and embrace it. And obviously he's cracked a code as well with the reels,
Totally.
the way he's doing that. And then, you know, anything can happen for you.
Yeah. And that's just with anything. If you're passionate, you pour your heart into it, eventually you're going to break through.
That's it. Well, look who I'm talking to right now,
Right?
Mr. Jesse Stevens, passion himself in the game, dude. And I do want to commend you on that, because for anybody who thinks that your story happened overnight or was a quick success, that's just not the case. You know, you've really been so passionate and so determined to be at the level of play that you're at right now, and it shows in the way that you carry yourself, the way that you obviously, you know, train and prepare for these events, because you're playing some of the best ball we've ever seen out of you, and whatever you're doing is working, so keep it up.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And patient.
More to
I
come.
think that's patience is a huge one, right? Like so many people, so many players do quit or give up on whatever it is they're doing right before they finally achieve it. You know, they say to themselves, you know, I've been doing this long enough, I've made a ton of sacrifices, and I'm just not there, right? And it's easy to take that path, but you've stayed relentless in your pursuit, and now you're just a household name on one of the best teams in the world.
Absolutely. And I mean, the adversity will shape you. And there's so much to the story. You can never give up. You have to be relentless in everything you do, especially if you want to be anything at whatever you do. But, you know, there were trials and tribulations with everything that happened within my paintball journey. And I mean, that came from the gutter, like did not have an easy path. I've been cut. I left X Factor, came back. It was not an easy road, you know, and people from the get-go told me I would never be here. You know, you'll never play pro.
Who told you that? I want to know what kind of assholes say shit like that to somebody.
Lower divisional guys in Louisiana, you know, way back in the day. And I mean, just who knows? Any people out there just on a random Sunday, you know, we're jawing back and forth, you know, it gets spicy, you know it. This is back in 15-4, you know, 13, you know, you're tearing each other up, ripping people to shreds, like playing with Stinger and all that, you know, emotions get high, but it's just part of it. But that's just been fuel to the fire.
So what are some insights that you could give the listeners on navigating that kind of stuff? Because, you know, like you said, success is truly created out of the grit, out of the struggle. You know, obviously the people who quit, they never see the success, but if you just stay strong and stay true to your vision and continue on that path of gritting and grinding through everything, you can make it to, you know, like you're sitting on one of the best teams in the world. So what's some advice on navigating those types of terrains to get to the spaces that you've been able to, you know, get to?
Well, you have to set goals for yourself in your pursuit. So, and I mean, you just, like Marcelo said, I mean, like you said, you have to be relentless with everything you do. And, you know, you have to be patient. You have to set small goals for yourself and work on your weaknesses, be coachable. I think that's a big thing that not a lot of people are. Like, you know, everybody kind of thinks they're always right in their own mind. And I mean, I'm not perfect. Like, I can't say, you know, I haven't been a little arrogant in my time coming up, or I haven't been, you know, a little hard-headed, but it's just, it's one of those things. Like, you have to understand your path and have a clear, finite goal in your mind and go forward and just continue to chip away at it. And I mean, there's no correct way to do it. Like, everyone's different, you know.
That's right.
Some guys, they'll play a season in D2, D3, and all of a sudden, boom, they're on a D1 team and in the right place, the right time. And then somebody notices them and all of a sudden they're playing pro, you know. And some guys spend their entire life in D4, you know, and other guys win a series, bump up, win that series, bump up, and do it, I guess you can say, the quote unquote correct way. But I mean, everybody's different. Like, there's so many different stories out there, which is what makes the journey unique within itself. And I kind of got, I mean, I don't want to say lucky, but I was in the right place at the right time, and, you know, met Sean McDonald, Crunchy, and he took me under his wing and just shout out to Crunch.
Let's go.
Shout out to Crunch.
Yeah, but he helped open doors for me, got me out to Texas, and I took a leap of faith. And this is back in going into 2012. So I had just graduated high school. I had finished my first semester of college in Louisiana and was starting my second semester. And I had already played divisionally for a team out of the old X Factor park, Maximum, out in San Marcos over there in Texas. And, you know, the guys had kind of known me. I tried out for X Factor in the past, but I went out for the official tryout with like Billy Bernaccio when they did the roster, the original roster. And it just kind of fell into place from there. I just went out and did my thing and ended up being in that final group. And, you know, they asked me to come back and be a part of the practice squad. And I went back and told my parents, like, look, this is ever going to happen. I got to move out to Texas. And I wanted to take that leap of faith. I wanted a fresh start. You know, college kind of turned into, you know, high school all over again. I think like 40 to 50% of my high school class was going to college there. So I was like, you know, through this, I want to do something else. I want to get out to Texas, you know, so much opportunity out there and just never look back. And that's the biggest thing. Like when you make a decision like that, you need to be absolute. You need to, you know, go head first and just own it. And moved out there, you know, started where Al gave me a job out at the park. I was cleaning the fields, you know, and just kind of worked my way up, you know. And I know I'm getting a little off topic. Like
this is great.
I know I'm gonna Tarantino this story. We're gonna go back and forth, right? The timeline's gonna be
what a great analogy.
But But yeah, man, I mean, it was beautiful looking back on it. Like I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And just the people who have invested in me, the journey itself, like just the people in my corner, like my circle. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And still to this day, I mean, Crunch is like a brother. I mean, when we talk, it's just, it's like we're picking up where we left off. And I mean, he's my biggest critic and, you know, my biggest supporter. So it's beautiful. I mean, I love the guy to death. He's like my brother. And it's funny, like my dad would bring both of us out to lunch and he was just, you know, pitching the whole thing from the get-go. Just like, I can open him up. I can get him on this team and then he can do this and then he can go from here. And, you know, when he finally like called up Grayson Goff and got me the tryout, it really came together. So
you're blessed to have a guy like that in your corner, man. Crunchy.
Oh, I got a lot of them.
All time.
It's insane. I mean, I was playing 2-on-2s against Mouse and Crunch back in 2008, getting blown off the field like, oh, this is paintball.
But that doesn't just happen to anybody. That's also a derivative of you as a person, as an experiential person in the world, creating those moments for yourself. You
absolutely
whether you know it or not, you manifested those by making those conversations, by hopping on the field when probably intimidated to go nose up with these guys, but you hop on the field and you get destroyed. But that's how you build those relationships. And then, you know, those doors open new doors and then you start making those connections. But it's because you got out of your comfort zone and you saw the fear and you went right past it towards your passion, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, like this goes deep. I mean, like my parents, Catholic family, they used to make me go to church on Saturday so that I could wake up on Sunday and go to practice. And I mean, I'm praying for this. Like, I'm like,
yeah,
please give me a chance. Like,
I love that.
Want this more than anything. And now look at it, like playing on one of the best teams in the world. I'm surrounded by Hall of Famers who are my friends who I can call upon at any given time, who would do anything for me. You know, got one of the absolutely the best owner in the league, just who's like a father to me, was at just graduated college. He's at my graduation, hyping me up, yelling to me. Like, it's amazing. Like,
dude,
I'm so blessed in so many ways. And just couldn't be happier. And the story's still going. I mean,
yes, it is.
It's incredible.
Congrats on the degree. What do we
got?
Yeah,
man, bro, they kicked me out. They said you can't come here anymore. Here, take it, run. Yeah.
Good luck with this thing.
I know, right? Communication. Nursed that for like 7 years on off. You know, when I was on AC Dallas, I wasn't even in school. I was actually on academic probation. I had to go back.
Oh, what?
Basically, bro, yeah, like was missing classes because I was driving all the way to Dallas and back, which I don't, if listeners don't know, San Antonio to Dallas, that's a 5-hour drive. So that's a 10-hour round trip. And I mean, AC Dallas in their heyday, I mean, we were practicing from like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I'm not getting out of there until 6. I'm on the road all night and we're carpooling. Like I got guys who I'm dropping off. So I'm not getting back till like midnight. And I'm, of course, late registration, get an 8 a.m. course. And I'm like, fuck this, I ain't waking up. So yeah, that didn't end up well, but stuck at it again, persistent, and finally let me walk.
Dude, that is awesome.
Congrats, what are you gonna do
bro.
Yeah, huge congrats. What are your plans with the degree? You said communications?
Yes, sir. So
nice.
I'm already doing a lot of the apparel stuff and marketing and stuff for the field, X Factor Paintball Park. So I do a lot of I collab with other guys for the jerseys and all that, but I'm getting into graphic design and all that. So
there we go.
Joggers, jerseys, like the straps. I got a bunch of straps that I did coming out for the first event, hopefully. But yeah, just working with John Dresser, working with Greg, like all those guys going back and forth and just trying to hustle, man. But great safety net, but obviously I'm looking for something else as well. Cause
gotcha.
I want to the point where, I can have multiple forms of income and just start saving all the paintball money and then put myself in a really good position. But yeah, man, it's been awesome. Like truly blessed. And I mean, like growing up, I'm reading paintball magazines in class and like, who would have thought I'd be here now?
You did.
Working on, yeah, absolutely.
You did.
Never gave up.
That's all that matters.
Oh yeah.
What was your favorite paintball magazine back in the day?
I was always a fan of, I had a couple. I was a big fan of PGI and Faceful. And I loved how Faceful, I mean, just the photos, man, you would fall in love. And they always did the team spreads when they had all the questionnaires and whatnot and did all the gear bag things. Like I remember when Oliver was his first year on the Ironman, 2006, your first year, Marcelo, he did the whole gear bag spread and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, just all the little things, man. I'm so much of a paintball nerd. I mean, like I can tell you who's won every single event going. Me and Ryan Hall would always joke about this, but I can tell you every winner going back to 2006, because in 2005, like the NXL was, I mean, you had the pro division, like the NXL, and then you had the open division, which everybody watched, which had Dynasty and Excessive, and Dynasty was, the powerhouse. Excessive was always second, but you had the Naughty Dogs, you had, I think the Russians were in the open division that year.
Yep.
Too. But yeah, everybody was going back and forth. And I think there was some kind of deal or whatever. The NXL wasn't like they had their media team or whatever, and it wasn't allowed to be shown elsewhere or something. So, I mean, all the YouTube videos and whatnot, I've probably watched every paintball video on YouTube from 2008 prior, because all I would do was sit up at night and watch,
yeah, dude,
all the finals videos. PB Star, that was my shit. Like
PB Star was dope.
Oh yeah. And Nima, I know during quarantine I sent you y'all's finals match, but our buddy Nima over in Iran, I guess he had a bunch of matches saved on his hard drive.
And like, how did he have all those?
Like he's been sitting on them for like 8, 9,
crazy.
10 years.
At
PB
least.
Star, I don't know if viewers know, but PB Star like got a virus or something, like they got hacked or whatever, and they lost everything. Site got shut down, is non-existent, and all those videos were lost for years.
Oh man.
Right. All like all the good ones. And
maybe it was Nima. He downloaded them and then it was like, okay, it was an inside job. He's like, I'm going to put this on my YouTube channel now.
But like, in all honesty, like what truly inspired me was that finals match in 2007. Y'all and the Russians, the Ironman and the Russians. And that was when it was best 2 out of 3. And that's when I feel like it was really at its height, because that's a whole nother level. And y'all are, like, how many matches did y'all have to play? Like quarters, and then finals, and it's like best 2 out of 3, whichever one. So you're just, and it's X ball. It's like what, 2 20, 25-minute halves? Stupid.
Yep.
Like it's a lot of paintball.
Gladiator.
It's a grinder, bro.
We did have 2 full lines. That's one like alleviating factor in that, but still, I mean, I remember leaving those matches, those events, and I mean, you truly just felt spent. You know, even those practices, we used to play so many more points in practice. We used to shoot so much more paint in practice, I feel, you know, and I try to like think back on how, because still I feel like we're at the field all day. I'm like, I don't know how we could have played more points, but somehow I feel like we were playing more points. Our practices, anytime I left, you know, when in that era, it just felt a little different. Like, how did we play that much paintball? And at those tournaments, yeah, best 2 or 3, I think, was in the semifinals and the finals. I'm not sure if it was the quarterfinals. I don't think it was. But that's a lot of paintball. You know, you really know who the best team is, you know, when you square up best 2 out of 3 in a long form X-ball match like that.
And guys are dialed in. And I mean, the Russians back then, when they had that crazy, you know, they had the crazy budget, I guess. And I mean, they were just machines. Like that season in 2006, when they were just winning nonstop, just shooting everyone. They were just robots. It was absolutely absurd.
I know. I hope they're going to be all good for 2022.
I hope so too.
Yeah, it's definitely been
really
a wild
like
ride.
Guys. Yeah.
I miss seeing, you know, all the OGs, all the, you know,
Karslev, all those guys, man.
Yeah, the classic squad. We need them back over here. We're praying that we can get you guys over here soon, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, that finals match alone, just truly inspiring. Like insane. And obviously, like, I mean, growing up in Louisiana, like Crunchy's this huge success story, and he's on the Ironman, which, I mean, at the time, y'all were just a super team built to beat the Russians. Like, and just hearing him doing that hype speech at the beginning of the match, and just all y'all chanting heart, you know, Paxton at the beginning, here we go, boys, you know, everything. I fell in love, man. And just like the sheer spectacle of all of it, how they did the stadium, how it was just fans everywhere going crazy. Like, I'm like, oh my God, like I have to be there one day, you know? So
yeah, I agree. That event felt, I mean, to this day, like, you know, I shared a clip on my Instagram during quarantine. Thanks to Nima. Again, I was obviously just kidding about Nima. Super thankful that he was able to get all those videos up on YouTube for us. Just iconic moments. But there was that long one-on-one with me and Kirill where we're both like out of paint.
Nasty.
Like a 6-minute point or something, dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm a kid, you know, and in that moment, scores tied 1-1. We lost the first match, so this is a huge match, right? And we both ran out of paint. He ends up finding a full pod, comes charging at me, and I just kind of dot his eye with one snapshot. To this day, that's like the biggest eruption that I've ever experienced in a paintball tournament. You know, with the way the stands went wild. I mean, that was like as raw and real as it gets.
And it was all elevated.
Yeah, totally.
Like everybody's above you.
Yes. Which is huge. The elevated stands are super cool. They make it feel that much more, you know, professional.
Yeah. And you can see the field so much better. It's just
of course
amazing. No, man, still to this day, one of my favorites. I'll still go back and watch that. Just like that finals match, Shorty popping his shoulder out and Mouse getting into the snake, getting coached by Eric on the sideline, you know, and just pulling it off. It's cool, man. And cool to see y'all like so young do that. It was just insane. Yeah. Truly inspiring.
Legendary moments. What is Crunchy up to these days?
Bro, he's tugboat captain, baby.
There we go.
Riverboat pilot. I mean, he's probably pushing like 6 football fields worth of raw materials up and down the Great Lakes or some shit.
Damn.
You know, he's a contractor. Jeez. I mean, he'll work for a bunch of different companies and just bounce around. But I mean,
I'm sure he's crushing it. He's a dominator.
Of course, he is a dominator. And I mean, he'll tell you. So he's truly a specimen. And I mean, like whatever he wants to manifest, whatever he puts his mind to and like sinks himself into, he's going to get it done. And love the guy to death. But I don't know if I know anyone who works as much as him. I think he works like 11 months out of the year.
Sheesh.
I shit you not. Like he's
well, hopefully at some point we'll get to see him at a tournament again. We gotta, you know, drop in, say hi at an event. We miss him.
Bro, last time I'm in Louisiana out at LA Extreme Paintball. Shout out to Drew Bankston. I'm out there doing my drills and he tells me he's gonna show up. He pulls up in an Audi R8, just comes out. He's got the boots on and everything. Like he just got off. You know him. He's got to make an intro. Like, this guy, man. I swear to God.
He always has to make an intro.
Verbatim, he's like, let me show you how to play paintball. Let me show you how to snap shoot. Like, I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's go. It's like I'm 16 again, still getting yelled at. 50 more.
There's something to be said.
That's why I made it. That's why
Yeah.
I made it, because I had him out there
Mhm.
dip in the mouth, just telling me, all right, you're running pulls today. You know, he'd get me in the snake. He'd set up targets for me, and he'd just putting me through a little progression drill and stuff, and make me lay down. And we're playing on a hyperball field. I don't know if the viewers really know, but OG, there was a video on the internet of him and Mouse doing drills on a hyperball field back in 2007. That's the field I grew up at, LA Extreme Paintball. Shout out to Drew Bankston. But that's like legendary. Like Meter and I were on the phone talking about this like 2 hours ago. But I grew up at that field, and to see them do that, and then, you know, he's out there with me, coaching me along, making me do all these drills, making me sit, you know, in the snake, waiting 15 seconds. All right, pop up and shoot the target, you know, like doing all the little things. But that's why I'm here though, man. It's all of those. And I can dig into the memory banks and, you know, remember these things. Like in Harry Potter, they're pulling out the fucking memories from way back and stuff. I can just tap into all that and just see it vividly to this day. And him still yelling at me, and nothing's changed. He'll still call me up and yell at me. So I'm like, all right.
That's the way it's supposed to be right there.
Yeah. The big bro's gotta get it out. Gotta put me in my place.
There's something to be said about that type of confidence as well, and instilling a player with that kind of wherewithal to think that way, you know, from a young age. Because I know the way he operates, you know, and he's confident, and there's a balance there, of course, but you have to believe, you have to really believe, because the words that you hold inside your head, they're going to transpire into reality. So you got to boost yourself when nobody else will. And that's what's going to get you that production that you've never seen out of yourself, is by those kinds of words that you're speaking to yourself, and that kind of confidence, and having that kind of a guy in your corner from the beginning, instilling those kind of words and confidence into you, and maybe some hurtful stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Like it could go, it's like,
both of y'all have been coached by Hinge. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's just psychological warfare. I got Rainey Stanzak on my team. Like I know all the tricks. That's fine.
Exactly. And that's right. It's like a trick almost, because you can use these words to fire people up in certain ways. You know, everybody is so unique, and we all have different things that make us tick. So one thing that works for him may not work for or her, or vice versa. You know, it doesn't matter, but we have to really hone in on accepting the fact that, you know, we got to be creative in the approach of how we're going to become better with all of us. Yeah,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's dope.
Yeah. I haven't talked to Crunchy in a while, man. We're long overdue for a phone call. What's funny though is I do think the last time we talked was like a couple years ago, and I think I was with Mouse, and he just started grilling me about, what are you doing for investment? You know, how are you investing your money? Are you wasting your? I'm like, Crunch, man, we good, bro, but okay, let's. You're wasting your time, man. God, you know, damn it, this, and it's just like nonstop. I'm like, oh man, Crunch, you don't change, please don't ever change.
Oh yeah.
Over here grilling me
with the cigar and everything.
Oh yeah.
Dip into just grilling. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a unique individual, and that's why people enjoy being around him, you know, because he's uniquely himself. He owns it to the fullest, and he's just such a authentic, you know, passionate individual. Man, absolutely. I miss Crunch. We gotta try to connect with him.
I'm not here without him. I'm not sitting here having this conversation with either of you if it wasn't for him. Like, he instilled all of that in me at a very young age, and just lit that passion within myself. And I'm not saying it was all him. Like, I had to do the work, I had to get there, but he definitely supplemented and helped me out along the way, opened doors for me, and has always been in my corner. So I owe him everything.
Hell yeah.
He was your outlier.
Oh yeah. He was my Obi-Wan Kenobi, bro. Straight up. Straight up. Like, that was my Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. I love that.
Wax on, wax off. We're showing up. Show up to the field at 7 a.m. And my dad would be like, 7 a.m.? I gotta drop you off then, you know? So
let's go, Dad.
Oh my God. I'm like, yeah, come on.
Yeah,
I gotta do it.
And what's even more impressive is he didn't really have someone like that, you know, growing up in that area. He was the first to come out of it, so he didn't really have someone to kind of help show him the way, right? Like, he kind of went out and created those connections on his own.
Yeah, so he was on the Rocket Kids for a little while, which I believe both of you know that team name. He was on that team, and then he kind of bounced around from there. He was on Ultimate, and then Doc's Raiders, and then him and Slurps went out to San Diego and started playing on Aftermath, and then that's when you guys met each other, and then just went from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Slurps, man. Brandon, he lived with me for like 2 months when he came out to San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Both
That's
of them,
another
man.
that's another Louisiana legend. They were
Mhm.
kind of a duo for the longest time. It's funny, me and Brandon have never met. We
Really
just missed each other. We
Wow.
just missed each other. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
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 What city did you grow up?
Slidell, Louisiana.
And then where are you living these days?
San Antonio, Texas.
That's right.
This is
There we
Mr.
go.
X
I
Factor
went
PB.
straight to the source. And I think that's why like a lot of those guys like took me seriously, because I was like, I think I'm gonna move out here. And they're like, all right.
Yeah, yeah.
I just showed up. I'm like, I'm here.
There's something to be said about that. Kyle has a similar story, like Mikey Arena. Granted, he didn't quite move out to Southern California, but he just kept driving out, from Arizona. He would just show up to the field and like, hey, I'm here for practice or tryouts, or I'm just gonna get points.
That's what it takes.
100%.
That's what it takes.
And we told Mikey no 100 times, and this was in like 2013, 14 when we were playing on the Ironman. He just wasn't ready, but it was like there's a lot of potential, but not ready. Never gave up, just kept coming out consistently over and over. And now look at him, dude. Mikey's a stud.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's really turned it on these past few events for y'all. And it's good to see.
It's no secret. It's work ethic. At the end of the day, that's all it is it comes down to work ethic. You got to be going to the field during the week or on the weekends or whenever you go to the field, really applying yourself at practice, doing the extra stuff nutritionally with your training and what you're eating, and making sure you're obviously getting premium water. But it's all those little things, man. You got to, and listen, I'll drink any water, but when I'm training, I'm definitely going to spend the extra $1, to make sure that the water that I put into my body leading up to a tournament is the best water I can possibly find, because we're water people. That's what you are. We are made of water. Everything runs off of that. So your cells are going to be just running at optimum performance levels when you hydrate properly as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta be hungry. You gotta be passionate. And if you're not passionate about this, what are you really doing? Like,
yeah.
Somebody's going to take your spot. Someone who wants it more is going to get there. And, you're going to be sitting there with the what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
You got to want it, man. You got to.
Even when you're not, even when I don't feel passionate or don't want it, I still fucking go get it. That's the only way. And Joe Rogan always talks about his inner, what is it?
Inner bitch.
Yeah. Inner bitch. Yeah. The David Goggins.
Bitch.
Oh yeah. That's David Goggins.
It is.
And then he brought it to Joe, and Joe was like, oh.
Yeah.
Joe loves it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That inner bitch, man, it'll fuck you up. It'll sit there and try to tell you not to do all sorts of shit that's good for you, 100%. And actually, I kind of had that today. I really didn't feel like going to the gym. I was just feeling really, really lethargic this morning. And sure enough, the first part of the workout is horrible. And then all of a sudden you're in the flow of it and you start feeling good and you start really appreciating it. And then you're in the zone, you boom, and walk out an hour and a half later and you just got a great workout. You feel good. It's okay, that's what I needed. You got to get over that hump of the inner bitch. It's sitting there. You don't need to go today. You went yesterday, dude. It's okay. You're good. Yeah. Don't cave to the inner B.
Those are little tricks you can play with yourself, though. The little mind games. And just that, I just think of my rivals, who else? Oh, Mouse is out there doing it, Marcelo, fucking, I know Tyler's working on the 2-on-1s, these 3-on-1s. I got to get it, So.
Yep. Absolutely.
What does your training look like, and how has it evolved, especially in the last couple of years where, in my opinion, you've become just one of the most elite attackers, not on one side of the field, pretty much anywhere the team puts you, you can go and attack and be really effective. Has your training changed, or has it stayed pretty much the same? Things just, are starting to click.
I'm more efficient now. And I mean, especially prior to the events, and it helps when, I'm out at X Factor working anyway, but Al gives me access to the field whenever I want and go out and shoot whatever I need, so
yeah,
I'm pretty good with it. I work on my little things here and there, and I have my little training partners, my sparring partners, which one of them is now playing on the team with me, Mr. Anthony Bowles, one of my dear good friends. That's my little Padawan. Now he's on the team chasing his dreams. So
amazing.
For about 2 seasons there, we were just one-on-one sparring partners. We'd be out there just playing. You just take a box of paint, put it behind the start gate, and just go. like literally play 9, 10, 11, 12 one-on-ones back to back to back, just knock them out. You want to get a cardio session, do that. Run around, play cat and mouse with each other, because that'll get you on point. But just overall, like, I mean, I've always been pretty meticulous with what I do when I get out there, and I do all my fundamentals. But when it comes to the event, do a lot of progression drills. I'm dialing those shots in on either side of the field, doing whatever I have to for the given layout, you know. And I mean, as far as the gym goes, I know we were talking earlier, I do a lot of strength training, and now what I'm getting back to is the more of the conditioning aspect of it, because I put myself in a little bit of a pickle coming out of COVID. I was powerlifting a lot. I put on a lot of size. I also did a dirty bulk, so I put on a little too much size. And you know, the conditioning wasn't all there. I was still running, but it's not all there when you're getting up there on the LBs. So
to be clear, a dirty bulk, I believe you mean you were just eating unhealthy food, not taking.
I was eating whatever I wanted,
not taking
and
steroids.
If you know me, I mean, I'm literally a human garbage disposal. Like, there's an inside joke within the team. Like, if you see me eat, it's insane. Like, I'm probably
you're a savage, dude.
You're probably the fastest eater you'll ever find in this world. But
kid's hungry.
I mean, bro, hungry.
But,
Kid's
hungry.
I was just eating whatever the hell I wanted, which now I'm a little better with that, you know.
Yeah.
Got my ground bison and pretty good with that. I got my powder beans, but I'm watching what I do now. I'm trying to get leaner, you know, and I mean, you just have to be conditioned. In a perfect world, we're all UFC fighters out there, you know, just conditioned like hell, and just able to play back-to-back points, whatever coach needs, you know. So
you know,
that's what I'm trying to get back to.
The one thing you can't train for, and it really takes a lot out of you, is communication. Yelling on the field. It's
Absolutely.
like, I mean, I have been at the park doing uphill sprints, trying to yell. I mean, you just look like a maniac.
Dude,
I can't even take myself seriously doing it, but I've tried it because I know it's like so valuable, because I can go and run point after point after point. I can work out in the gym, even in like sweatshirts and sweatpants, things like that, as long as I want, really. And then we get out on the field, you play one point where you're really going in the deep waters with communication, and you come off just huffing and puffing, dude. Like,
it's true.
Nuts. Yeah.
There is a science to the communication, the whole realm of it. But if you just simply get yourself a wife and kids, it is great training for all that. You know, you can, you know, dial that in. Yeah. All that.
Absolutely.
Real quick before we move on from the training, you know, everything you just mentioned was, you know, about fundamentals geared around making sure that you're crispy, you're sharp, your fundamentals are good. But at the end of the day, making the right decisions on the field is what it comes down to. You know, having a high level of paintball IQ. Like, where have you started to see that part of your game develop? I guess that's kind of more what I was asking the question around, you know, because since it started to click, that's exactly what it is. And it's the same thing with Meter. You guys both are just, seems like you guys are always making the right decisions, you know? And so
I could talk all day about that guy. But
yeah, for
to
sure.
answer your question, a lot of it is just playing more, you know, like everybody says. And what really helped me is I started going over to Mexico and played the MXL with the TJ All-Stars. And it really helped me step into more of a leadership role and a like player coach, right? Because I'm helping these guys play call as the match is going, and I'm playing more of a 2, you know? So I got to see the field a little differently. I got to shoot more off the break, which love doing that. And then just run around, do whatever I need to. But just running the situations. I mean, just playing more in general. And that's one of the things that I think a lot of players coming up in the divisional ranks, they need to understand that you need to get out there and just play the game. You know, you need to get out there and just get your reps in and focus on all the different aspects of the game, the communication, the teamwork, you know, playing just the units. You know, it's a 2-on-2. Yosh said this on a Planet ETV or whatever. It's a 2-on-2 with a guy in the middle, you know, who can go either which way. Like, you got to understand the units, and then working and bridging the communication, and then understanding advantages and disadvantages, and, you know, where the hole is on the field that, you know, needs to be attacked. So it's a lot of different things. And I mean, like we were talking about earlier, it's different for everybody. And it didn't happen for me overnight. I mean, I needed to play more and more paintball. And, you know, if you look at the X Factor roster and you look at APPAs, like I have a fraction of the experience that a lot of the guys on the team have. Even Sean Salcedo, that guy was playing for Detroit Strange in 2007 when I was still running around the field with an eye on figuring out what body kit I wanted to put on my gun. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like guys have been doing this for fucking years, man. And that's what it takes. Like it took me time. It took me, you know, taking a step back from X Factor in 2013 and then going and playing a couple of events in D1 and realizing like, you know, I needed to get within a system. And AC at the time, this is going into 2015, AC was going pro, and Greg Pauly had a whole group of guys that, you know, he had win that pro spot, and there was a tryout, and then he had all these other bodies come in, and then VCK at the time, the Jackson brothers, TJ Danner, Nico Hyde, Devin Stewart, like all these guys, you know, needed a place to go. So you had this giant camp. They created 2 teams, a Division I team and the pro team. And I try out for the team. I wasn't ready to play pro, but one of the best things that could have ever happened was I got put on the D1 team. And who am I playing every fucking weekend? The pro team, right?
Yeah.
Getting the reps. I'm playing all the time. And it was a grind.
Yeah, it's almost better for you than it was for them, for the pro team.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. Because I look across the field and I have the Jackson brothers. I have TJ Danner. I'm playing against Nico. I got Clint Johnson. I got all these other guys who were phenomenal players. Nico Meter was even on the team at the time for a brief stint, but like I'm playing guys who were at the time, you know, leaps and bounds better than me in a sense, like mentally with how the game was supposed to be played and just an understanding of it, when I was just kind of raw, still talented yet, but like still needed a little bit more of, you know, the strategy and the understanding of how the flow of the game and everything. And that was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And being on the Division I team, right? I was one of the starters and I played every fucking point. And I tell guys all the time, I'm like, look, stop worrying about playing pro. Play every point. Play through the divisions, you know, play every point on the team and get an understanding of the game and what needs to be done. And then worry about taking the next step. You know, worry about all of that first and really getting a grasp on how the game needs to be played and the different speeds of it. It's like surfing. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. You know, you have to learn how to play the pace of the game and to understand the windows and the opportunities and the things that are presented to you and taking advantage of that and understanding how tight those windows are. And I think y'all talked about it on Colts podcast. Like those windows get smaller and smaller as you get through the divisions, and guys don't miss. Like neither of you, like it's so surgical when we go up back and forth in a gunfight. Like, you know, there's guys out there like Malloy, like you take one look at him, like you better hope you connect, because if you take another look in the same spot, it's probably going to shoot you in the face. Like it's one of those, you have to understand the game and you'll grow from there. But for me, I mean, it took a little bit of time and still doing it, man. I mean, I'm still learning something.
That's
every day.
it.
I make mistakes all the time. I make mistakes all the time. And what's different about this division is you cannot make the same mistake twice or you're going to sit.
I was going to say, you definitely can make the same
You
mistake
can,
twice, but
you're
you're
going to
sure.
You're going to get an earful.
Sure.
And on my team, I mean, Archie, Rainey, those guys are tearing into you. So it's like, you know, we get to the point where it's like, I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let Meter down. You know, I don't want to let Alex down. Like, I don't want to do this to myself. Like, you deserve to be on that field. Like, play to your potential.
Absolutely.
You gave really good advice, and we talk about it a lot on the show. I'm sure you've heard us talk about it, but it's because it is valid too, about playing either overseas or guesting with other teams where you have to be the guy for multiple reasons. Not only do you usually have to be the one to win the games and kind of put the team on your back, of course it's a team sport, but you instantly become, when you're the guest, you know, on those international teams, you instantly become the go-to guy that plays every point, has to, you know, win those big points and step up in big moments. And you're also responsible for that coaching role, which gives you a broader understanding of the game.
Absolutely.
What you said about working your way up through the divisional ranks, that's such good advice, because in any other sport, it's like so rare that if you're not at least the guy on your high school football team, you're probably never going to be in the NFL. You know, there's just too many players and too many high schools. And like the players that make it they were one of the guys on their high school team and then in college as well. And you have a lot of guys that are the guy in college and then still don't make it in the NFL. Right. But my point is, like, you do have to go through those divisions and learn how to be the guy. Whereas if you're just on a team that, you know, you can kind of hide behind other players' talents, you're never going to make it in the pro division.
Absolutely.
Never going to make it. Like, you got to be comfortable being the guy. You got to be wanting to be in that position. And even if that means playing down a division, it's just about learning how to do it, you know, and being that go-to player where you build that confidence of like being able to put a team on your back and getting all the way through. Yep.
That's
confidence, dude. 100%.
You have to be 100% confident within yourself, because you instill that shred of doubt, you're getting shot off the break.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap.
Something's happening.
How weird is that like getting shot off the break doesn't seem like it should be a decision, but dude, there's times where I'm at the gate and I'm just like, I'm for sure making this spot and you make it. And then there's times where I don't know why it creeps in, but I'm like, I'm not quite feeling this one. And a couple steps out, you like get shot. You're like, wait, how did that, you know, did I just have a good feeling about why I was going to get shot? Or did I get shot because I felt that way? You know,
you never know.
Weird,
huh?
Yeah. It's a tricky thing, but the mind, man, it's a fickle little bee. Sometimes that inner bitch creeps on in.
Creeps in.
Yeah, it creeps in.
Dude, I do have a good little segue on, even if you can't go to another country or you can't, you know, make a big trip and be a guest on a team, just go to the next state next to you and play in a tournament series over there. You know, save up some money and just do little things like that where you get out of your comfort zone. That's really the key there, because when you go to guest on another team or you go to a new area, you play in a new league, you're completely out of your comfort zone. And that's where you need to be in order to really ground yourself and give yourself all the tools that you need for when those kinds of things happen in the bigger moments that are going to come, because the moments only get bigger as you progress up the divisions, up towards the pro or whatever your destination is. So you got to really start to find tactful ways to train yourself on how to do that as you move forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. That's what it's all about. You got to be going for it, dude.
You got to put in the work. And I mean, just playing paintball in general, just getting out there, playing all the time and being able to go guest and play in other leagues, like it's only going to compile and it's only going to help you up. It's like we're playing the craziest video game.
Yeah.
Getting out there and just gaining experience. It's just like running around in Diablo. What's up?
Hold up.
Okay.
Have you heard us talk about the video game?
Oh, yeah.
Where's my Quest? Oh, it's over there. Dude, have you played Snapshot VR?
No.
Have you put one of those Oculus Quest like VR things on?
Was that what you had Maddie doing last night?
Yes.
I saw your story. Okay.
Bro.
No, I haven't seen it.
Dude, this thing is insane, dude. It's insane. So, first of all, VR is like way more advanced than I thought it was going to be. You know, I was like, whatever, it's like kind of 3D-ish. It is so immersive. Like, you truly feel like you are in the game on the field playing, and they released the layouts. Like, you used to play digital paintball, right? I can't imagine you didn't play digital paintball.
Well,
was that after your time?
No. That was kind of before me, but I wasn't like huge on like computer, all that. Believe it or not, Crunch tried to get me on that. He'd bring me over, cook me crawfish, and he's like, let's go play DPP. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Me and Mouse used to play all the time. Archie too. Like, they used to release the layouts before the events, and it was pretty accurate, you know. So you could get a good feel of like the lanes and you know how the field was going to kind of play, and it just keeps your mind thinking paintball. Well, the VR thing is nuts because you actually snap shoot, you gunfight. I've probably done 1,000 squats in the last like 6 days that I've had this thing, because when you squat, that's how you change levels. And like when you're using the joystick and you're running, if you squat really fast, it'll slide for you, you know? So I'm like going up and down, working up a full sweat playing this damn game.
Getting a workout in.
There's a dope community being built in there. But yeah, sorry about video games. I'm just like mind blown about this damn thing.
I always use that analogy with people.
Dude, we even have a PTG team now.
We do,
right?
yeah. I was playing with them last night. It was so funny. It was like, it was late. It was after the Go Sports dudes left. I was like, I wonder if anyone's playing. I hopped in there and some of the PTG guys were in there. I was like, oh, yo, Cam, what up, Alex?
Yeah.
Tight. Locked them up real quick. They need some practice.
Just downloaded Discord. I got to get in with y'all.
Hey,
bro,
we'll
there.
send you.
Let's go.
We'll send it your way, dude. We'll get you in with the PTG World. And if you join PTG World, the Discord chat, you obviously can run around and mob on the VR if you have that as well. We're having some fun in there.
All about mobbing. I'm from the dirty. Let's go.
Yeah.
Straight out the gutter. Let's go.
Dude, they're going crazy in there.
Yeah.
Is your favorite artist Lil Wayne?
He's
Come
one
on.
of them. He's up there. You know, I love OG Wayne.
Of course,
course.
OG Wayne was
anybody
great,
puts
dude.
up, yeah, if anybody puts up like Carter 2, any of the OG stuff, like I'm all over it. I love
Mhm.
it.
Yep.
I threw up.
I posted a old Wheezy song recently,
Hell yeah.
and it was with Cash Money Martinez running
Of
down the
course.
field. You got to put
Mo
some
Fire.
Mo-fi on
Mo
that.
Fire. Carter 2. Let's go.
Yeah.
Cash
Yeah.
money, dude.
I
Yep.
posted up a video with like Leather So Soft off of like that Birdman
So
album that
Soft.
they did. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
of course, like a week later, Mouse throws up some sick video and then of course throws Leather So Soft on there.
Yep.
Oh, he stole it.
I was like, you're welcome.
Oh, he stole it.
No, I loved it. Yeah, I mean, he had the whole video and everything. I mean, I just had a photo and I threw it over, but you know.
People don't realize because Mouse is really selective with how he posts on social media. He's really good at like his branding, but almost every one of his quotes is from like a dope rap song, you know, an OG one.
Yeah.
And they come off, they're
Crunch
like, they're,
probably.
yeah, for
probably put
sure.
him on that.
For sure. 100% Crunch did, dude. I remember, you know, again, like 07, 08, Crunch definitely put us on to Lil Wayne. That was the rapper. That's who we were
That's
listening
when he was
to.
at his height, though, man.
Yeah.
Right
yeah.
before he went to jail, he was just on fire. All his mixtapes were just insane. His
Yeah.
mixtapes were probably better than any of his like studio albums. It's
For
just
sure.
absurd.
That was the cool thing. It was like the sheer amount of volume he was producing, right?
Oh yeah.
It was like there was just new music all the time, and that's something we said about that too. You see a lot of artists that the ones that are consistently putting stuff out. I mean, not every song's a banger, you know, but it's the engagement. It's people still like just buying into what you're doing. They see your passion through your consistency, through your work, you know. And it's like consistency, man. You got to have it, or you don't get remembered. Or you don't do anything special. You know, you got to be consistent and relentless.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, and you saw it with Drake. Drake was like putting out an album like every year.
Yeah.
Basically, mixtapes, everything. But
Yep. Well,
being consistent.
speaking of that consistency, you're obviously one of the best D-side players in the game right now. How can players
Attacker, one of the best attackers in the game.
Yes, yeah, straight up. Yeah,
Tyler and I have been on a mission to like remove the you know, us a Dorito player. You know, bro, put you in the snake, you're gonna attack. Especially nowadays, the snake's not the way it used to be. You got all the big bunkers over there.
Yeah, they keep
like,
making all these like triangles and putting all the bricks in there. Yeah.
No matter where we put you, on the snake side, on the D side, being that attacker, but specifically on the Dorito side, I do want to hone in on that because I feel like you have taken your game on that side of the field to another level in the last couple seasons. What has led to that kind of development over there?
Confidence. And I mean, I somebody said it, but I think aggression is one of the hardest. Like you either have it or you don't. And I've always had that part of my game. Like I want to be in your face. Like I want to punch you in the face. Like I want to attack that side and go down and shoot people in the back, you know? And I think,
bro, you are an animal. You dove into the bunker when we were practicing.
I was waiting for it to come up. Oh,
dude.
What happened?
Yeah, I destroyed my face. I think my nose is still crooked, but it was.
When was this?
I thought he was. I thought he was
on the World Cup practice, or no, first weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was toast. I thought he was knocked out.
I died.
Yeah,
Devin Stewart was like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
game, oh my god."
You didn't learn your lesson from last year World Cup.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Too soon, or did enough time go?
This was different. This is different though.
We lost you, Jesse. Jesse, we lost you for a sec.
With the barrel, and the tank just came up.
Jesse, sorry, your audio kind of cut out for a little bit. I didn't hear what you were saying there.
There we go. It's good.
I think we got you. Yeah.
The barrel just caught the lip of the turf, and I tanked myself square in the face, and
dude, it was
everywhere.
Gnarly.
I was more mad because like I knew something bad had happened. But like, I'm just laying there and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm watching like just blood, just like squirting like crazy out of my nose and stuff. And Chad's shooting me in the legs. And I'm like, damn it, I made the bunker. Like, fuck. I could have shot everybody. Of course, had I stood up, it'd just be everywhere.
Oh man, it was gnarly. It was gnarly. And then like he said, who was it? Devin or he thought that you were.
Yeah, Devin was on the sideline, had the front front row seats. He called the game. I love Devin. We go way back.
Me too.
But he had them call the game.
There was a
I
pool.
wish they
There was a
wouldn't,
pool in
though.
the bunker.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
It was
Yeah,
one of the
I
worst
was
ones I've
bleeding for a
seen.
good
And
bit.
this was right before World Cup this year?
Yeah.
It was the first weekend of practice, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
You had
But I
some
mean,
time to
I was
heal,
on the
yeah.
field within 30 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
Alex made me sit out. He's like, you need to go over there and just ice your nose and, chill out for a little bit. And I'm just pissed off. I want to play.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I
what I'm
wanna get
trying to
out
say.
there.
This guy is an animal. He was like, even when he broke his face, he's bleeding all over the place. I'm like, I go over, I'm trying to help him. I'm like, bro, are you good? What's going on? And he's just like, yeah, I'm, my nose is a little crooked. I'm ready to go.
No one makes me bleed my own blood. I'm just like Wolverine, just ready to go.
Dude, I
I'm
love
just
it.
like waiting for my nose to just start healing magically right there. And then I'll just put me back in there. Send me again. Same play, Ryan. Run it.
You had, yeah,
Ready to go.
you had crusty booger blood nose straight up all day, just still giving
Had to get it clogged up there so I could actually it was hard, even harder too, because I'm trying to talk, I'm out of breath, I'm like, I can't breathe out of my nose, like
It
I
was
gotta
crazy.
breathe out of my mouth and communicate and talk. Jeez,
Gnarly.
do it all.
That's rough, dude. Well, shit. Glad it wasn't worse, right?
Totally.
But
Right.
it does sound like it was pretty gnarly. I've only done that
Mhm.
once. It was a long time ago. I think it was like 2007. It was 07 or 08. It was one of those Ironman years. We're playing Impact in Philly, and I dove into the Dorito 1 and barrel stuck in the turf. Tank hits me in the chin, splits my whole chin open. Gun falls apart. The whole frame on my gun was completely bent. Gnarly.
Yard
Down,
sale.
blood everywhere.
Northeast Open, I think.
Yep.
Because I remember some of the footage from the event. There wasn't a lot that came out, but I remember
Yeah.
like there was some hype video or whatever, and you had some giant bandage on your chin. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck did he do?
Yeah, exactly. I had to get seven stitches. My chin was just
Jeez.
gutted open.
Mm-hmm. The old tank will get
100%.
you.
That's pretty savage, though, dude. I remember like you could coach at the time. Nicky Cuba's like yelling at me as I'm like blacked out behind the Dorito 1. I didn't get shot. He's like,
Nick.
March, get your gun. Like, he was just yelling at me in the Nicky Cuba, like, deep,
yeah.
raspy voice.
Yeah.
Kind of like come to, I look, my loader's off. I grab that and I grab my gun, and that was when I see all the blood. There's just blood everywhere. And I'm like dizzy. I put the loader on, and then like I go to put the tank in my shoulder, and the barrel's pointed at like a 45-degree angle to the right. That's how much the frame was bent. But I get it up, I get it shooting, and I'm like, Nikki's like yelling at me, and I'm delusional, dude. I'm 100% just delusional at this point. I look down the tape, no one's looking at me. It's like I run down the field, bunker 2 guys, and we win the point. And I like come stumbling into the pit. Remember Zach Yakimick was one of those dudes. I come stumbling into the pit, and I felt fine until I saw Shane Pastana's face. When he looked at me when I lifted my goggles, I like almost passed out.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the game got paused for like 3 hours because it started lightning right then.
Oh,
so they
whoa.
had a timeout, and so I had like the medic come in, tape me up. Like I was so lucky. I had all this time to be able to, get it kind of taken care of and finish the match.
How did you shoot the players with a bent gun and everything?
Dude, you could ask Nicky Cuba, ask any of them. This story is absolutely verified.
Yeah.
So I just figured out how to hold the barrel to where it was straight, and the tank was like aiming off my arm like this, right? So I was just holding it super awkward, and I don't know what possessed me to just start running. I was delusional. I was a kid, and that was when I was the one on the Dorito side, so I was a little more aggressive. But I was like, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? I took off, and I'm like, no one's looking at me. Oh my god! I get behind him, just
Keep going.
That's key though. If something crazy happens, something bad, don't just sit there and wait for people to come and shoot you up your side. Make something happen. Put pressure on the game and communicate, or go and try and get somebody. Yeah,
Totally.
Love
yeah,
that.
Brandon Short, same thing. Jesse already kind of alluded to or brought it up, but in the World Cup Finals in 07, dude pops his shoulder out diving into the bunker right before the snake.
Yeah.
And
he shot Dave Baines in the corner with one arm.
yes,
Like,
exactly.
literally.
Picks up his gun, still plays, gets a kill. I mean, dude, Shorty just tons of heart. But that's,
Nasty.
I mean, look, we're not special for doing that kind of stuff, right? It's expected from high level athletes. That's like the separation there is you're willing to go the distance, and that is just like a small look into the window of like how much somebody cares about a sport. It's like that kind of stuff. You realize the task of like winning the point is more important than anything on your own body in that moment. It's like no, I got one mission. Let's win this damn thing.
I love Brandon. I love Brandon so much. I actually just got to see him. Congrats to Brandon as well.
Dude.
right?
gonna be
$1
a
million.
father.
Is.
Oh, okay. Yes, he's going to be a father, but he also got $1 million contract to coach the Latin Saints.
There we
yeah.
go.
There you go.
I'm
Yeah.
spreading fake
I
news,
have
but that's
so many stories.
yeah, you know that guy. I remember
Brought me
thinking
on a
about
bear hunt. I went
yeah.
on a bear hunt with that guy after the Florida event for like a month.
Nice.
It was like 19 days straight. It was most absolutely insane thing.
We know nothing about him. You kind of have a scoop. What's the story? How did he start in the game? How did he get his roots in paintball?
March. So Cesar Villarreal from TJ All Stars. Diego and him are close friends, and they started playing in Monterrey, Mexico, which is like right across the border.
Yeah.
In South Texas, and they had a team way back in the day, and he's always been a part of that clique. And recently, he just kind of got back into it. The last event I won with the TJ All Stars, me and Grayson Gladstone were over there, and he was there. He was just getting back into it, and he kind of witnessed all that. And I guess he really got back into it because
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
When we were on the bear hunt, we were kind of talking about these things. I was talking about just how big Latino America's influence on paintball, and it's there.
Yes.
I think there were crazy metrics and numbers on the Wild Dogs when they played
Right.
World Cup last year, and that's huge for the game. Like that's a big market, and just
Yes.
viewers alone. I mean, it's huge, and
I'm so excited to see their team grow and everything that they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Really
And,
cool stuff.
I mean, we were just talking throughout the bear hunt, and I was kind of telling him like the Wild Dogs just need like a coach, funding, and practice, and I think he has a group of those guys. He just added some more guys onto the team. I think it's gonna get released over the course of this week. Going forward, maybe when this show gets released, but I believe they just picked up A-Rod.
Yep.
And, they got Silos. And Shorty is a huge addition for them, because like they really need a mind like that to kind of just guide them.
Totally.
A-Rod, I think this is a good thing for A-Rod, because when he's the guy, he shines.
Yes. He needs the freedom.
Yes, he needs the freedom. And Silos had a big year for the Ironman too. He was a big role player for them, and he was able to play multiple different positions. And they have a lot of ones. They have a lot of crazy attackers between the Wild Dogs guys and some of the other the Mexican guys.
Is
more
Aquaman?
storied.
Is Aquaman playing with him?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Let's
pretty
go.
dope, man. Shout
Cal
out to Danny.
Drago. Let's go, baby.
Cal
Let's
Drago.
go. Get him in there.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
my
that's
guy. Daniel's a stud, bro.
He
He's
is.
a stud.
Yeah.
There's guys within that team that they're bringing over. Some of the more storied guys from the MXL, who just need reps. Pinguino, guys that just need to be out there and playing. Alvaro, they got a guy from Puerto Rico who's nasty. Alvaro is one of the better guys who played in the MXL. He never played on the TJ All Stars with me and Grayson. I don't think he was even over there for you. But he's a doctor in Puerto Rico or something. So
yeah. No, I think he was at one
nasty.
of them.
He's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about him, but they have a lot of role players and guys who just they need reps, man. They need a budget. They need funding to where they can get out there and they can fucking play. That's all they need, and I'm very interested to see them grow. I think it's huge for the sport, like more, different teams of different cultures. We have a Russian, a Canadian, and an all Latino team now. Like, let's fucking go. Like,
I love that so much. Yeah.
Before you know it, we'll have like an all Australian team, an all Indian team, like all Japanese team, samurais running around. Like, let's go.
There's going to be a New Zealand team coming over to play the semi-pro division. Shout out to the Expendables. I think they're gonna try to play under a different team name. Yeah, the Titans. But their goal is to earn a pro spot, and they're out there grinding. I mean, they have their own field in New Zealand. It's gorgeous. They legitimately play almost every single day.
That's awesome.
And it's they have the budget, they have the funding, the support. They have a good group, right? And they're trying to make a run too. So you're definitely right. That's really good for the sport. I hate when I hear people say, the pro division needs to go down to 10 teams. There's only 10 good teams in the pro division. That's so short-sighted and silly to me.
Everyone's getting better.
Everyone's getting better, but it's so good for. Honestly, I don't care if they're not good. It's good to have a professional team in a certain region, because that is the only thing that, for me when I was a kid, if I didn't have pro teams in my area, I probably wasn't going to chase a professional. I don't know. It just wasn't, it was so attainable because it was at my field. It was in my backyard. I saw it firsthand. It was like I could aspire to this as a reality, you know? I don't know that it would have been the case if I was in a different situation, you know?
It's the influence they have, just being there,
Yeah,
being able
absolutely.
to interact with other people and help them, you know, having local
Yeah.
pros that you can talk to, you can reach out to, you can learn from, you know, that was
Mhm.
huge. Just having Crunchy around for
Yeah.
me. I mean, that was huge.
Mhm.
You know, maybe I don't get into paintball as deeply as I did if I didn't have somebody like that. So
Totally.
it's
Very
huge.
true.
Going back to the World Cup core sample, I do want to hit on that.
Okay.
So that's that was a big moment for me because yes, it was tough. The loss, obviously, that's tough too. And granted, a lot of things went wrong in that point. But it's overcoming it and knowing
course.
how to deal with adversity and when things go wrong like that. And I had the whole fucking sideline right there. Ooh, as soon as it happened, like of course, like it I'm not going to say I dwelled on it or bothered me to that extent. And you have to let things go. You have to be able to overcome those sort of things. But,
Yeah.
for players who, may have, those moments that don't go their way like that, it's all about how you overcome that, all about how you deal with it and you move forward. And I feel like I've only gotten better, like over these past few seasons, like each event,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I make it a goal for myself, get better, find ways to get better. And, I just use all these shortcomings, anything that goes wrong, just that's fuel to the fire.
That's right.
Totally. You have
You
to,
have
man.
to,
Yeah.
I have always played with a chip on my shoulder, so
Mhm.
it's one of those things.
And that also shows with winning too. I mean, sometimes you just got to get a little lucky as well, because if that doesn't happen, that point is probably going to go a different direction, right? And it's a little bit of luck on our side that we didn't have to deal with you out there because of that, and like that's the reality of the game. And it's funny, like a bounce here, or a gun going down in a certain point, or you break at the wrong time, break paint.
Yeah.
Like these little things make a huge difference come Sunday, and sometimes it really is just luck. There's an element of luck that does come into the game, and that's any sport, of course. There's always going to be a little element of luck there.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing I want other viewers to take away from any shortcoming like that is it's how to face adversity. And, you have to, it's quarterback's amnesia. You throw a pick six, you have to forget about it. Next play, next point. Like Rusty always says, be brand new.
Yeah.
You have to.
Shooter's mentality, baby.
Absolutely.
Shoot or shoot.
That's
You
it.
know, you miss a couple
Got to.
3-pointers. Klay Thompson is still welcome back. Klay
Welcome
Thompson, by the
back,
way.
Klay
Welcome back.
Thompson.
He comes in and just shoots 18 shots like it's nothing, in like 20 minutes. He's just letting it fly.
Stupid.
Yeah, I love it.
Stupid.
But
Those
you're
guys
right.
are
You
meant to
have
be
to.
on goal.
You absolutely have to. And I've been a victim of both because I've struggled for a long time, like finding that balance, because I'm my toughest critic for sure. Absolutely. And when I make mistakes in events that might cost our team, I really dwell on them. And I always would say, like, I am glad that I dwell on them. I want to make myself feel really shitty for this for an extended period of time, because that also in turn motivates me to work harder so it doesn't happen again. But there is a balance. And as I'm getting a little bit older, I'm starting to see the get over it, move on quicker. The quicker you move on, the more time you can spend, focused on becoming better.
play,
And
the next thing,
totally. And I think there is something too, like if you do get over it quick, that kind of stuff doesn't creep into your mind the next time an opportunity presents itself, right? There's less hesitation because it wasn't that big of a deal. It doesn't mean that you don't go back and get to work and fix shortcomings, but there's an interesting balance there for sure.
As long as you learn from it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson's story is insane. Like what he's overcome to be where he's at right now,
That guy.
back on that court. It took years,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
years that he was just sitting there having to watch games and kind of agonizingly, going through the healing process and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's maddening.
And
Sitting
yeah, for
there
sure.
Watching your boys go and you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You're sitting there just wondering,
I got so much love for Klay because I got to party with that dude one time. My boy went to school with him at Washington State, and we would get since he knew Klay, we would get tickets to the Warriors games, and we would go out there and then got to rock around town with Klay and stuff. It was insane. Yeah, he's so
man.
cool. He's the best dude ever. Can't say enough good things about that guy.
Yeah, he's a cool cat.
Yeah, he is, dude.
Definitely is.
Yep.
I enjoy his Instagram stories with his boys.
Yeah.
How dope is that? He takes a boat to work. He fucking
Oh,
takes his boat to the arena. Come on, man. He's so funny. Yeah, I love basketball, man. I'm excited. football is, it's always like sad as football ends, but that's right when basketball starts to get really good.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes,
like, it's a
sir.
win-win, right?
Yeah.
There's just nothing worse than like at the end of the NBA finals, then it's like, oh man, there's really no good sports for months. Like, it's a bummer, huge bummer. Did you guys watch that Charger Raider game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Well, I caught the tail end of it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Charger football is so disgusting. It is so disgusting. I
They're
mean,
coming up too. It's sad to see because Herbert's
yeah, they're
a
not coming up,
stud,
dude.
man.
Let me tell you, they're not coming up. They're the hot girlfriend that will just continuously, ruthlessly cheat on you, and just promise you that she won't, and then she's gonna do it again. Dude, why did that coach call a timeout? I just don't get it. The Raiders were like, they were gonna run the timeout. If they tied, both teams make the playoffs. It had gotten to that point of the game, like, okay, we're not gonna take any risks here. We're gonna go for the tie, and the coach decides to think, I don't know what maneuver he thought he was going to pull. He calls a timeout to like save some time so that I don't understand it one bit, I think he wanted to get his run defense out there. I don't know what he did, but the world was like Charger football again. But that game was nuts. It was a good game. Great football game.
Rams game too, man.
Whew.
Because
How the hell did the Niners-
had the Rams and which I'm kind of glad, I mean, obviously Saints fan, like we would have made it in had the Rams just done what they're supposed to do. And granted, this has been a tumultuous year for them. I mean,
Yeah.
insane. I think there was some crazy stat that there's been 54 new starters for the Saints. If I lose y'all.
We can hear you, but yeah,
It's
your
frozen
picture froze.
for some. Okay,
You're good.
But there's been like 54 new starters for the Saints because of COVID, injuries, and all that, which is leading the NFL.
It's because they're out in the loo ripping it up, partying on
Ripping
Bourbon
it
Street
down
every
in the
night.
gutter.
They're partying on Bourbon Street like it's
Yeah.
1984.
Jeez. But
That's
yeah,
nuts, though. 54, that's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. I'm a huge Saints fan, too. I love Drew Brees, so seeing him go there and win, I was always a fan, always follow them. Kamara, dope.
Oh, that's the guy right there.
Yeah.
He actually played at
Yeah.
LA Extreme not too long ago. It's the field I grew up at, and Drew got him a Alex Goldman Savages Eat for Free CS2.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I don't even think he brought it back with him. Like he still has it out there, and Drew's like, still got your gun, bud. If you ever want to grab it,
I'm good, bro.
But, he's
Dude,
around.
that'd be tight if we get him on the show.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
that'd
what
be
a
so
stud.
sick.
What a freak athlete, man.
I've had him on my fantasy team like 3 years in a row.
Oh, you got to. The sheer
Well,
amount of touches and
let's
targets
go.
he's gonna get. I mean,
Yeah, shut up, Tyler. Tyler won the PTG Fantasy Football League this year. Yep, first time he comes in, never played before.
right?
Didn't even know that you could adjust your lineup until like halfway through the season.
Bro,
What's a
I
waiver
know.
wire?
Yeah, I went like 4 weeks, and I was like, oh, these
Unbelievable,
are,
dude.
these are my guys. And then I got slaughtered for like the first 4 weeks. Nobody, thank you, Cameron Clifford. Shout out to Cam. took me under his wing and was like, okay, here's what we do. And then once I learned about waiver wire and being able to get different players, I was doing research, crunching numbers,
There you
making
go.
sure getting
Checking
the guys.
matchups.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
This team
going
got a
in.
weak secondary.
He had Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow the last 2 weeks
Oh,
of fantasy
woo.
football just fucking drops 50 points back to back.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how? Jesus.
Shout out to
That's
Joey
crazy.
B. Shout out to Joey B. The whole
Joe.
LSU 2019 team, Louisiana boy. You know I got to rep. my
Let's
guy.
go.
He's dope.
I mean,
He's really
dude,
dope.
And the two receivers he had, that whole offense from 2019, you had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, and they're both Pro Bowl this year. They're like 21, 22 years old.
Yep.
Studs.
I love that about receivers in the NFL. It seems like every year there's like multiple new receivers that emerge as just absolutely elite. Like there's a surplus of receivers, and it makes the game exciting, whereas the other positions, you don't really see that as much. Like when's the last
Running
like
backs.
crazy running back that came?
Running,
I don't
like in the draft, like after the first 12 went, the cutoff, like tier 1 to tier 3, basically. It's just like fucking continental plane. It just
yeah.
terrible.
So speaking of winning organizations, in your eyes, what does it take to formulate and create that kind of atmosphere? Obviously in paintball to have a winning organization.
Culture.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
You have to believe in the guys next to you, and it's the little things,
Yeah.
There's so much that rolls into it. The camaraderie, just friendships, all of that. That's why Dynasty's been successful for so many years. X Factor has been there for so long. Houston Heat, I mean, y'all have had the same core for years.
Yeah.
Y'all been talking about it all season. You're like the first pickup in 4 years or something.
Yeah.
But like just the culture has been in place for a lot of these top level teams for a long time, and guys just know what to do. All the pieces are in place. There's
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard to elaborate on a secret formula or whatever it is, but I mean, it's just that you have veterans on the team who have just been there, done that, and everybody's on the same page. Everybody has the same goals set in mind, and there's each team has their formula for how they approach the practices and then preparation for the event and all that, and you get out, you do your thing.
Yeah.
It has to be built. I can't elaborate too deeply on it because it's still something I'm trying to decipher and all that, but being a part of X Factor, like coming in, like that's what I can tell you. It's been in place for so long.
Totally. How did everything go when you were on the team and then you weren't on the team and then you came back? Can you kind of break that down and what happened there on your journey with X Factor?
I came in very raw in 2012. Like gun skills, athleticism, all that. Are y'all hearing all these dings that I'm getting, all these text messages?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Oh, it's all
You're
good.
good.
Yeah,
going.
we can't hear it.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was messing up the chat or
Appreciate
the
that. Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
But
Dude, Big
I
Baller
came
got
in-
all these phone calls coming in.
right, people are just blowing me up. Leave me
Yes.
alone. I'm reclusive anyway. I don't get out and do this much. But I came in super raw. Like Crunch got me the tryout and everything, and I came onto the team just kind of a scud missile. In all honesty, just gun skills, all that, and I still was lacking in a few different areas of my game, and I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, which like my story in that regard is why I tell so many divisional players, like, go start, go play, understand the game, understand the flow of 5-on-5 paintball and how it breaks down from that through the different phases of the game, and understanding the low bodies, understanding the 2-on-3s and 2-on-2s and so on and so forth, how you approach each phase of the game, and I just wasn't ready. And I had a little bit of an attitude, and I was upset. I was like 20, 21 at the time, and I just going through growing pains and all that. And obviously I wasn't happy with where I was, and I knew I wasn't getting the playing time, and I wasn't developing because I'm playing on X Factor. I got Hall of Famers around me who are good to play, and I'm lower on the totem pole, lower on the depth chart, so I'm not going to get those reps. And Ryan has to trust you to put you out on the field, and I hadn't earned that yet. So I mean, obviously it's upsetting, and I wasn't getting those reps. And I at the end of the California event in 2013, late great Paul Richards, near and dear to my heart. Love that guy so much. Wish I could talk to him to this day, because I know we'd have a beer and have a good conversation, because he always told me, I know you're going to do it, Jess. You'll be there one day. But we had a conversation at dinner, and I was like, what do you think about me stepping down and playing D1 and actually playing paintball, getting my feet under me and developing? And he's like, I think you're onto something, verbatim. But I mean, that's kind of how that conversation went, and I knew it was coming. Like, I knew I was probably going to get cut at some point, and I decided to leave the team.
And why did you think you were going to get cut?
Well, I just the things that happened throughout the year. I was sat I didn't even go to the Chicago event. I had bad practices, and I was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing.
Well, you're a young man.
I was young, and and what hurt the most was I decided to go play the 7-man event as the MPPL was kind of crumbling. That was that year in 2013. So I went out to Vegas with Alex Martinez's son and Ryan Cohen and some other buddies, and we had a 7-man team.
Oh, nice.
Played that event, but I didn't go to World Cup, and X Factor won World Cup. And Sean Martinez and I were watching the finals match at X Factor Paintball Park, and that was just a knife in the chest. Like, damn, bro, you just missed the holy grail by that much. So that stuck with me, and I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to give up. I mean, if anything, that put a fire under my ass to fucking get back out there and
hell yeah,
do what needed to be done. And
yeah,
I played Division I with a team called the Dallas Jets, which, when I know I'm jumping around Tarantino, but when I moved over to San Antonio, I moved into a party house basically that used to be owned by Dennis Rodman when he lived, when he lived in San Antonio and played on the Spurs in '94 or whatever. lived in
Oh,
a party
shit.
house with Ryan Cohen and
You guys
my
dig out the
coworker.
walls?
Oh God.
I'm cutting the walls
There's-
open in that place.
there's stories that shouldn't be told about that house. We'll have that in the after party.
Yeah.
But yeah, lived in that house over there with them, and I mean, just
Yeah, there's something there though, because a lot of players I think ask themselves that as well. They might be playing in a division and they're not sure which direction to go. And in this instance, you feel like it had a profound effect on where you're at now by taking that step, getting into the game, playing a lot more, and really seeing you can't know where you want to be without, having some perspective. So that gave you really good perspective on where you're headed.
yeah. And that 2014 season was kind of a lull, and
Mhm.
I only played 2 events. The team Ryan Cohen and I had played for was the Dallas Jets, and funny enough, BJ Hennenberg and I played on that team together. We played on 3 divisional teams together
No way.
throughout our paintball careers. It's pretty insane.
That
BJ
is.
got a lot of love for that guy.
Yep.
And a few other storied Texas guys who had played. Justice League was a divisional team way back in the day that like Mark Johnson was on and everything. So some of the guys from that team, and Devin Stewart actually played on the Jets for an event, Chicago. So we were all on that team, but it kind of fizzled out, and I didn't know what direction I was going to go in. And X Factor actually brought me out for a practice to fill in because they needed other bodies, and and I was kind of trying to fish and see if I could potentially get back on the team, because I had a decent practice with them when I went out. But that was a year after leaving the team, and it was just kind of like, it was one of those things,
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to see where Ryan was at with it, and I knew he thought I needed some more time and all that. So going into that off season, I didn't know what I really wanted to do, and I remember I was looking at my phone. I saw X Factor was picking up Carl Markowski for that season, so I was like, "Oh shit, I'm losing my chance with that." So I remember, I forget what I was doing, but I was up in Dallas and I stayed at Meter's house. Shout out to Meter, my boy. But he told me, he's like, "Dude, go try out for AC. They're going pro. Greg will get you right." And Greg Pauly, I mean, I can't say enough about that guy. One of the toughest coaches on me. We're both very fiery personalities, and he was hard on me for years, and made me work for it. Made me absolutely bust my ass to earn his respect and get on that pro team. But that story will come later. Meter convinced me to go out for the tryout, and I go out there and I end up making the team, and befriend one of my best friends in the world, AHSBIZ, who played on DSS, Vicious, and AC Dallas for Greg, and actually doing the podcast in his house right now. I went over and worked out with him.
There we go.
But
Hell yeah.
yeah, got on board, got within the AC Dallas system, and going back to what we were talking about earlier, like that was where I needed to be. Got on the D1 team. I was on Diesel, the first rendition, or not the first rendition of Diesel, but the first like new era rendition of Diesel, and just cut my teeth, sharpened the sword for 2 years there. And Greg actually cut me at the end of the 2015 season. He was like, "This isn't going to work out," and I took one event off. Dallas 2016. And Mark Johnson called me to come back, and he's like, "Hey, I'm putting together Diesel again," because Diesel did like terrible that event. I think poor Ryan Hall was like the only stud on the team at the time or something. They just had a rough event, and that's not a shot at anybody else, but they had a really rough event. I think they went 0-4 or whatever, and Mark was helping with that team. He was on the pro team, but he was kind of overseeing what was going on with Diesel. And he calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I'm putting together the team. We're gonna do good. We're gonna win." And he brought me back. He brought on Sean Salcedo, who is now a teammate of mine. Love that guy, jiu-jitsu master. Brought back Jeremy Zimmerman and Derek Knight, a lot of old school Texas Storm guys from when they were getting back and getting the ball rolling and doing well in Division One. And I think we got second to DMG in the Dallas 2016 finals in Division One. So came out swinging with that, played the majority of that season. And at the end of 2016, Nathan Roberts decided he was taking a step back from paintball, which granted, that guy, can't say enough about Nathan Roberts. He's a doctor, and he was in med school going to UT. He was in a fraternity. He had so many things going for him. And I think he just kind of got to a point with AC Dallas when everybody was, intense and they were in it. Like, they were getting better and better. And he decided it wasn't necessarily for him anymore. I think he wanted to take a little break, and they were lacking. They needed a snake player. They were lacking over there, and they bumped me up to pro. And that was my coming home party.
Yeah.
Getting back into the mix with that. And then in that off season, we lost Clint Johnson, went to X Factor, and Nico and Devin got picked up by Heat. So we lost 3 players on that roster, and we had a very slim roster going into 2017. But we picked up Brad McCurley, who, shout out to that guy, happy retirement. I'm still a little upset. I love Brad. Like,
dude, I know.
I don't want to see him go. That's
Yeah.
big bro, but I get it. Life comes first, and he's got some other things he wants to take care of and get going. He's got.
Well, he's still going to be in the game. I think he's coaching. One of
Rosie's team.
Yeah, exactly.
The Valkyries, I think. I want to say Rosie's a baller. Like,
oh yeah, she's good.
I don't think people understand how good she is, but she's nasty. She gets out there and she puts heads to bed. But yeah,
is she on the Heroines or on the Valkyries?
My bad. Heroines.
Are you sure? I don't know. I thought it was the Heroines.
It's one or the other.
One of them. Yeah,
I think it's Heroines.
But yeah, so Brad is stepping into that coaching role. That's someone we should get on the show too, because shout out to the WNXL. That's awesome what they're doing. We were talking about Latin America and opening up that whole demographic. I mean,
yes,
ladies playing paintball is super dope.
Dude, we have been missing out on half of the entire demographic of paintball that could be playing this amazing game, because it's just the perfect game for every person on the planet. It's the best game ever. Anyone can play, and I think that we're going to see a huge surge in female players looking to form teams, get out there and start playing some events, which is going to be really cool.
Oh yeah. Brad was huge for me that season, that 2017 season on AC Dallas. He was big bro all season long, and like, I can't thank him enough for everything he's done for me, taking me under his wing, taking care of me whenever I needed that guy in my corner. Like, he's been incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible person in my life that I'm very, very thankful for. He is near and dear to my heart. Love both him and Rosie. Big fans.
Yeah, the game is gonna miss him for sure. He's electric player, and also this season
fiery.
Yeah, I love it. And Brandon Unger as well. It sounds like he's gonna be.
Oh yeah, he did make the announcement today. That's unfortunate.
Taking
I might
a step
be playing
back
on
as well.
Adrenaline with him and 10 Man, so I'll get him back in there. I'll be like,
there we go.
You can't leave.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he will. 100%. He will. Yeah.
But yeah, that whole 2017 season was huge because I really feel like I came into my own. And the Jackson brothers, I can't say enough about them too. TJ Danner, Ryan Hall, like that whole team, like that was awesome. And just to have that growth, I feel like I really hit my stride going into that season, because the first event, Marcelo, we actually lost y'all in the semifinals, and then y'all went on, and A-Rod had that insane run through. Y'all beat Impact in the finals that event. But that was kind of my coming out event, and I thought I really played well. I think they were doing the stats for that event, and I was ranked like 20 something overall, or maybe it was like between 18 and 20 or whatever the rankings. And I know they only do that on kill count or whatever, but it meant a lot to me, because like I was basically coming off Division 1, and then boom, I'm in the mix, And it was huge because that second day, Saturday, in the prelims, I guess we won both of our matches. Or no, we went 1-on-1 that first day because we played y'all in the semis. You both of you. Lost to y'all that first game, and then I think we beat Ironman the second game. We went into that Saturday, and we had a morning game, and Ryan Brand walks up to me and he's like, "You're playing well, keep it up." And just he pulled me to the side and said that, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And we were playing them. We were playing them in the prelims. We ended up beating them in the prelims, right? So that was huge, and that's my whole team, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Hey Jesse, I do want to pick your brain. How important do you think it is to have stats in paintball? And
huge. Huge.
Okay.
It's how we are going to legitimize this sport, and we need to, get more people involved with it and get them accurate, or as close to accurate as we can, because how are we going to gauge all of our stars? I want to see statistics on both of y'all. I want to see statistics on me, all the other guys. It's how we're going to legitimize the sport, and stats are cool, man. I thought Paintball Access did it the best, and I know they had the funding and all that with it, but like all the Winfluence and all the other little niche stats or whatever, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
Like I love that kind of stuff, and people eat that up. You know,
Well-
I want to see like percentages on how often, you know, Tyler wins when, you know, he's the last guy alive or whatever, you know,
Mhm.
how often Marcelo like wins a gunfight, whatever it may be, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's a huge part of the game that we need. We really do need that, and I think it'll help get over the hump, you know.
Well, we could not agree more with you. And
Yeah.
we actually, Marcelo and myself, are working on establishing a way that we can provide that, hopefully for the community, through, you know, working together in this paintball world, and trying to really bring that back, because we agree as well. It's so imperative for us to have numerics, and we have to see what's actually going on out here, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Yeah.
so important for us to have
And
that
people
as
eat
well.
that up. Like they want to see who the kill count leader is. They want to see who
Yeah.
has, like, you know, the
Absolutely.
highest survivability or whatever it is. Like,
Shout out to Quinn as well. You know,
Quinn. That's another thing. Like, I want to pick
Yeah.
y'all's brains about it, because is there a committee for who's doing the iconic
There
thing or
is.
whatever? Who?
Uh-huh.
Okay, because I mean, like, we need a Hall of Fame. Like, there's
Yep.
guys who need to be cemented in the history books,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
the Bob Longs, the Crystal Soyas, you know,
Mhm.
Oliver, all those guys. Like, we need to have that for the players.
100%.
We need to have something to kind of just award people at the end, because I love seeing all these iconic awards, and, you know, I just think it's awesome that we have more media and more guys getting involved and wanting to do these things and being passionate about this. Like,
Yeah.
The media resurgence reminds me of the mid 2000s. It really does. You're
Absolutely.
seeing so many creators come in, and like people are excited about writing stories about what's going on in the pro scene. That died for a good chunk of time.
Good
you know,
bit.
from
Yeah.
like 2010, 2009 through like 2000, God, I mean 17, 18, I want to say. It felt like there
Yeah.
wasn't much inspiration from people to write or make content about paintball. It seemed like people didn't care as much. And now in the last couple of years, it seems like there are so many people that want to come and, you know, have their own news channel or their own rumor
Yeah.
mill or their own, you know, photography, videography, whatever it is. Like, there's a lot of excitement around it. So it's huge. And what Quinn's doing is absolutely, well, it's iconic. You know, that Creator of the Year award, he should have won that, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, like he can't quite, you know, nominate himself, but it's huge for the sport. And you know, that with statistics and preserving the history, Jesse, you're right. Like, we need a Hall of Fame. We need all of this stuff. So
Yeah.
there is a
We
committee.
don't need names to die. Like, that's the biggest
Oh,
thing. Like,
exactly.
that hurts me. Like, there's so many people who don't know the name Angel Fragoza, and that kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there are guys who have, you know, paved the way for people like me, you know, coming up through the sport and all that, and it crushes me when, you know, kids out at the field, they don't know these names, and it's like,
Yeah.
bro, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I'm about to rock your shit right now. Here, come this way. Let's go watch YouTube, you know? And I love that all these videos are coming back into YouTube. They're releasing all the serial killers and Sunday
Yeah.
drivers and all that stuff. All the videos we came up on. I mean, I
Yep.
can't tell you how many
What's
times I've watched Oliver's segment of serial killers. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Of
come on,
course.
man.
Yeah.
what's
That's
the
raw, all
most
that.
what's the most points that have ever been scored in a basketball game?
100.
Isn't it like somewhere up in like 150 or 60?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's like 100. I don't mean by a team. I mean by a player, by one player.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I
Well,
see.
No, what's
Okay.
his name? What's his name?
Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, Will Chamberlain
Yes,
scored
yeah.
like 100 something or whatever
Yeah,
it was in the match.
it
And
was
Go ahead.
yeah, it was in a different era, and then so some say like Kobe holds that record in like the modern era, which was 81 points.
Yeah.
You know, he had that big 81 point game. What's the most people that have been shot by one player in a paintball match?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't
We
tell
have
you.
no fucking clue. We have no clue what a quote unquote like 30-point game looks like. You know, is that 10 kills in a match? Is it 15? You know, I guess part of that is that we have changed the format so many different times. So, you know, in one era you're playing longer, you're going to get more points, more looks, but we don't have that standardized. Like, you should know, dude, Jesse Stevens went off. He shot 10 people that match. That might be the metric. Like, you know, when I watch sports, when I watch basketball, I want to see if my favorite players are going to get a triple double. Are you going to score 30, 10, and 10? Because that's elite. And I know that that's elite because we have stats to see how rare that type of game is. Yeah, we know what the benchmark is for elite, for greatness, because you see it over and over and you go, well, people don't really do this. People don't really have this, right? So knowing, like, having those metrics, those are stories that you can push. It's great content for the media to have. It helps, cement the stories of the top level players. I would like to know what that number is. Like, what is it for a match that, is breaking into double digit kills for one match? Is that considered elite, or is that something that a lot of the players are doing, or is like 25 kills unheard of in a match? Has that happened before? I don't know. We don't know. That has to change. That kind of stuff has to change. We need to know. Those are the stories that it's like, man, Tyler absolutely went off. He had 37 kills in one match, and it was 14 points played. So you have, your like point to kill ratio in that as well. I mean, those stats tell the story. It's so crucial.
Yeah.
So,
It's
like Tyler,
detrimental to the growth of our sport to just get that in place.
yeah,
We need
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. So, yeah, like Tyler said, we're not ready to really share much more information on it, but the three of us, Quinn, Tyler, myself, are working on something to try to bring that to fruition again. And it's going to take. We're going to need everyone's help, right? Because we want it to be done right. So we need input. We need the pros to get behind it and understand, this is for the betterment of the sport. Absolutely. But
You got my blessing. What do you need from me? I'll be there.
that's it, brother. Right there. Your blessing and support, and, picking your brain like, hey, if numbers are off, we need to know. We need to figure out how we can, do a good job of keeping accurate stats, because that's so crucial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the utmost importance of the entire mission is, we want to make sure that it's accurate. And if we are even off by one, that's not good enough. I want it to be as damn close to perfect as we can possibly get it. And there is going to be a formula to that. And it's going to be a fun adventure trying to, nurture. And it's all love for paintball. We want to nurture this culture of the game, and this sport needs it so much. So we're really excited for that adventure there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Dude, when Paintball Access was doing it, my goodness. Yeah, I think
was on point.
they had an insane budget for it, but it was cool. You're right. Thinking back to like the Winfluence, that kind of stuff with survivability, all that stuff. Penalties would knock, points off of your overall player performance. Yeah, it's super badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube. I mean, like the production alone was just awesome. You all like each guy, like as they're walking on the field, you can see who's playing that point and who's dead or who's still alive and who was shot by who, and all the statistics come up. It's just, as a viewer, it's cool. It's really cool to see all that stuff. And for me, it kind of amps me up. Like, oh, I want to watch another match.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell
yeah. Yeah, more paintball, dude. I want more paintball on Sports Center.
Yeah.
So we need stats. We need to be able to submit like, yo, this dude went off, shot 30 people in one match. Like, what? It's crazy.
Yeah. Shit. You never know. And they've been using that raw footage too, which is cool.
Yeah.
We're seeing more of that raw footage going.
Raw footage is where it's at, man.
Yep.
In my opinion, there's nothing better than the raw footage to see the nitty gritty.
And you hear the communication, you see the way a player reacts and how he's thinking, kind of, and it's got way more depth to it than, and don't get me wrong, I love the edited, with the music and the precision cuts and everything. That is dope as well. But we need them both. We need all of it. Like Marcelo said, more paintball, just as much paintball as we can possibly conjure up.
Absolutely.
Yep.
100%, man. So, hey, Jesse, let's dive into, some more questions. And, again, like I think one that a lot of people, obviously X Factor is a hot topic right now. One, just because of how good you guys have been getting and how it's funny. Dynasty and X Factor kind of like stole the show from, Heat and Impact. The teams that on paper look like they've got the budgets. They have all the best players, at least on paper. And Heat and X Factor last year kind of came in and prevailed. And you guys have a plethora of talent that is just, it seems like Ryan has an unlimited amount of weapons now, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you guys did lose Archie, shout out to Boy Arch. We're really excited to have him. But what's the like sentiment, with your guys' team over that?
I think everybody's fired up, and you touched on it. Y'all touched on it on Tom's podcast, but I mean, it's opening up opportunity for everybody else. And I mean, like, I know y'all brought me up, but like, we just picked up LJ, added that to the arsenal. We got Tom coming back. We have all these other guys. We added Sean and Anthony, to the roster in Chicago. Like, we got bodies,
Totally.
Cody Bayless is coming back. TJ's going to be ready to go. You know, Rainey's coming, but like all these guys, we're deep, man. And that's what you
You guys are
need,
deep.
you
Yep.
know? So
Well,
I
and
just think across the board, like, you know, it's going to be who steps up, you know? And I think anybody could have the ball, you know?
Yeah.
And we're going to need everybody. That's the thing. It's not just one in particular person who needs to step up. I think it's going to be a team effort across the board. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited for our culture. I mean, I think we have a really great group of people who, you know, the Archie move, it's unfortunate, but, you know, he wasn't happy and he wants to, you know, enter into another chapter of his career. And if anything, like everyone's fired up about it. And, you know, we want to go prove a point as well. And, you know, just ready to get the ball rolling. I'm just ready.
yeah.
I'm going out tomorrow, honestly.
we play you guys in the prelims.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw our bracket. I'm like, that's a rough bracket right there. And then, we match up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'll be good. It was
100%.
meant to be.
It
But,
was totally.
it
It's
was
fate.
meant to be. But no, I mean, everybody's motivated.
Of course.
If anything, like it's just just more gasoline on the fire, and you know, guys want to get to work.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Ty, last question on my end on this, but what was your relationship with Archie? What was it like playing with him? You know, I've got a small taste of it in 2019 with the Golden State Kings, and I mean, I'm so excited to spend more time with him on the field. Just a great paintball mind, but you've spent a ton of time with him. You know, what was your experience like?
Archie is someone very near and dear to my heart. That's a guy who, you know, has really helped me over the years and has been a big influence on me. And, you know, we have a great friendship. And, you know, it's unfortunate seeing him go, but, you know, I feel like he's really groomed me and he's helped me as a person and a player. And, you know, I have very fond memories with that guy. You know, he helped me get over to Europe and we played together on Amelia Red Storm together, a Russian team with Skinny. I had a cool experience with that, getting over there and playing. And we've been able to go to Mexico and play against each other and, you know, just be able to travel and have cool experiences, you know, go to the islands and stuff out in Mexico and have a good time. And, you know, it's been a great ride and I appreciate and love all of our experiences together. And, you know, he's really helped me and all phases and, you know, areas of my game. And he's definitely someone I've looked up to. And I'm very thankful for our time together. And, you know, I know he'll always be in my corner if I need something. And I'm just truly appreciative of the time we've been able to spend together and the more memories. He's got a wedding coming up, so can't wait.
There we go.
Yeah.
Party time.
Yeah.
And Marsh, thank you for the compliment as well, like the Heat impact. But don't get it twisted. Anybody, like maybe they're not sitting on Dynasty or X Factor, but anybody in the pro league knows how proficient Dynasty and X Factor are. You guys are obviously the top teams in the world as well, right up there with anybody, you know? So it's going to be a really interesting 2022. Tons of great paintball, tons of great content. We're going to see hopefully some big developments in the game and keep pushing towards, you know, getting this in front of as many eyeballs as we possibly can, because it's the greatest game on the planet right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry. My bad. I thought you were about to go. But, dude, Jesse, I know before this show, we kind of talked a little bit about the messages that you even reaching out to pros like early in your career. Kind of like to have some of that, you know, on the air. I think it's super cool. I think it also is telling to players to not be shy and not be, you know, afraid of like going out and asking for help or advice. Or, you know, I love when young players continuously send me messages about, you know, what they should be doing, how they can get better, you know, what kind of goals should they set? You know, should they do this? Because it shows me like, okay, you really care, you know, and you're really trying to find your way, you know, in this sport. So like for you at a young age, what was that like? Like, was it because you knew Sean McDonald, and so you that barrier to the pros had kind of been broken, or?
That helped me with you because we're a little closer in age too. And I mean, like Sean's not that much older than me. He's maybe got a few years on me, but
I'm sorry, Jesse, how old are you?
I'm 29. I'll be 30 in March. Yeah, I'll be 30 in March. But you
Big
know,
30.
I felt, yeah, right. Dirty 30. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
It was easy for me to reach out to you, Marcelo, because I had that connection with Sean, and you know, I just looked up to the Ironman in general because that was his team, and you know, you were a part of that, and you know, I had a tremendous amount of admiration for you, and you know, it was, for me, it was just easy. I wanted to ask questions, you know, I wanted to know, and that's half the battle. You just have to ask questions. Like, it's stupid to not ask questions. How are you going to learn, you know?
Yep.
So it was easier for me to reach out to you on PB Nation, yada yada yada, you know, mix it up with
R.I.P.
you, and
PB
then,
Nation.
right? But you know, what meant a lot to me was my first World Cup in 2008. You know, I was able to, you know, meet you for the first time, and I had my dad brought me out, and that was our first World Cup together, and that was the last World Cup at Disney's Wide World of Sports. And I know y'all had a small conversation for like 20-30 minutes, I want to say, but it meant a lot to me, and to him it was kind of an eye opener, because my dad was a former college baseball coach before he got into pharmaceuticals, and you know, the first thing he said was like, all these guys look like college baseball players, you know? So, you know, it legitimized everything for him in a way. And, you know, coming back after that, he was like, okay, I see what you're getting involved with, you know, it was just cool.
Awesome.
What college did he coach?
Southern Mississippi.
There we go.
Yeah. Baby.
Nice.
So,
South Miss.
Oh yeah. Southern Miss, Golden Eagles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was just cool. And to have him be involved, and we always had that middleman with Crunch. So it was cool. And I mean, my parents still show up to the events, and they're over there in VIP cheering me on, cheering X Factor on. So it's cool. They were there for my first, not my first pro win. I was lucky enough to sneak in there and win a 7-man with X Factor my rookie season before 7-man crumbled. Missed 7-man, by the way. Want to see that come back.
Agreed.
I think that's going to be big for the sport. But they were there in Philly when we beat the Russians in 2019. It was super special to me because my sister, my mom, and my dad were all there, and just the whole the buildup of it, you know, just going each step, you know, quarters, semis, finals, and then winning in a neck and neck match against the Russians. I mean, you can't ask for more. And for them to be there and experience that, and you know, just be there for that win, that was huge, man. It just meant the world to me, just for them to be a part of it, and just, you know, embrace and hug them after the fact, and just be like, that's what it's all about. All these years, you know, sticking with it, and just them supporting me, and like just see just the culmination of it and everything. It's just, it's fun. It's cool. You know, meant a lot. So yeah. I mean,
has your dad ever played, or your mom? Either one of them ever tried playing?
So they played at my birthday party like way back in the day, which, by the way, didn't start playing paintball at a birthday party. I'm the anomaly right there.
Okay, how'd you get into it?
Man, like I saw it on TV. I mean, I had known of it because I was deeply involved with soccer growing up. I always played sports, played soccer for the longest time. And, you know, my U10 or 11 team, everyone was talking about going out and playing like a birthday party, a paintball party, you know? So I was like, shit, I didn't get involved in that, you know? So I like begged. I remember like we played a soccer tournament or something, and I'm like, Dad, we got to go play paintball. And like, we show up to LA Extreme, Slidell, Louisiana. Shout out to Drew Bankston. Like, I think they had, because most paintball fields, they close at like 5 p.m. anyway. And I think we showed up at like 3:30 or 4. And there was like 1 or 2 people still up the field. And Mr. Marty, retired Navy now, but he was still military when I showed up out there. But shit you not, this dude wore like an olive proto access and had like chainmail and like hog tusks on it, and like raccoon tail hanging from it and everything. And he took me out there. This is my first paintball experience, right? So shout out to Mr. Marty. He changed my life for me in this one instance. And he took me out there and we played one-on-ones, and like on that hyperball field, that same hyperball field Sean Crunch and Mouse were playing on. And bro, like, shoots me in the foot off the break. And I was like, oh, okay. That didn't hurt so bad, you know? And then just, we played all afternoon till it closed, and it became an every weekend kind of thing for me. And I think my dad just wanted to get me off of Halo. You know, this is back when Halo 2, Halo 3 was popping off, and I'm just like a zombie glued to the television screen. He's like, I gotta get this fucking kid off the TV.
We got to get you in the VR snapshot, dude.
I know, right? But what was that dirter film with Oliver where he's talking about like that feeling you get, and it's like the craziest drug ever. That was paintball for me. Like as soon as I got bit by that bug, I was like, I have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
this is it. This is it for me. And it was just
Well,
a rabbit hole from there.
You're just the kind of player that we need on the PTG VR. I'm going to buy one. I'm going to get one tonight, dude. I'm going to get one.
Dude, are you going to do it?
Yeah.
Yes, dude. Hell yeah. Finally. Yes.
I might have to now.
It's
I'll
bro,
watch it.
it's they have full-on leagues. They have teams. They have like organized events. You know, Maddie was talking to me. Maddie and Ghost Sports and Darren, they want to stream these VR leagues, especially now that pro players in. I guess they were like, you know, that's kind of what we've been waiting for. We want some pro players to play the paintball video games. I'm like, shit, dude, sign me up. I'm in there. I'm locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Major shout out to my team WTF, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Yep.
Okay.
What's up? Shout out to Fab, Mutiny, the guys, Checkmate, Bushido. Yeah, we're coming in tough, hot and heavy.
Squad.
Yep. Got the whole squad. We did a press release and everything. I'm official as shit.
Watch out for this guy.
It's way too serious.
It's so serious, dude. Dude, we do drills. They have like targets that ping when you shoot them. We do legit drills. I'm actually missing practice right now for the show, which I'm not too stoked about, but
Well, I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Sorry, I took away from your training.
I just know that once Tyler gets it, I can't let him get better than me in that game. No way. Yeah.
Everybody's gonna be like, why doesn't Play the Game posted up anything?
Yeah.
Playing VR all day.
We're in the
You can-
metaverse.
The whole league. They're in the metaverse.
Yeah.
Bro, Ready Player One is about to be a thing.
No,
Like,
it's a thing. It's a thing. It's here. I didn't
dude,
realize
give
it. It's a huge.
bro. Well, it's about to get crazy. Give it
Yeah,
5,
it's
10
scary.
years. We're all gonna be in the Matrix. Like,
It's scary, dude.
Well, the
it's gonna
what
be all VR.
it very well, we could see big major developments start to happen in the next decade in that realm. Huge. And the crazy thing when I found this out is what really got me saying, whoa, is that there's people making a living, making $9, $10 an hour, $12 an hour in the metaverse. And when I learned that you can work in there and make money, like real money, I was like, bro,
And that's
this
only gonna
is
go up.
that's only gonna
Currency's
go
only
up.
gonna go up, guys.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Everybody's
Just wait
quitting
until they
their
go
day
on
jobs
strike,
just to
Yeah,
go.
exactly. They go on strike first. We want a pay raise.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think like a lot of like Facebook employees, I mean, they have a whole team that their job is to interact in the metaverse. So, that's how you get people interested. If nobody was in there and it's not fun, nobody's going to get hooked on it.
Mhm.
The fact that these things are $300, the Oculus Quest,
Mhm.
is scary because it's a $1,500 piece of technology for sure. The fact that it's only $300, it shows me that there's like ill intentions. I said this on the last show. It's like a drug dealer. It like gives you your first couple baggies for free, and then you get
Jeez.
addicted. And yeah, I'm like, oh man, Mark Zuckerberg, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm in there.
it's here. He's got Marcelo's. He's gone,
I'm
dude.
sucked. I know. I wake up, my eyes are burning. I've been having like VR dreams. Like it like changes your perception of like time and space. It's super strange. Super strange.
That
Yeah.
is scary though.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. Yeah.
Man. All right, dude. Jesse, I think we should hop into some of our Discord questions. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot of
Yeah.
them. Dude,
Yeah.
we got people showing love for Jesse in the PTG World Discord chat here.
Yeah,
And
Pate was
but-
hitting me up earlier. I got a funny story for you, bro. You were at the airport or something, and I guess
Who? Me or
yeah,
Ty?
Tyler. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tyler was in the airport, and a good friend of mine, Pate. He
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in here.
Somebody, I guess these kids or whatever were eating and just left, didn't pay their tab, and you paid it, and it made a huge impression on him. And
I didn't
Oh.
even realize he was sitting at the bar, and that's how he was.
Yeah.
He looked over me. He's all Tyler Harmon. I was like, yeah. I was like, what's up, dude? But yeah, these people
yeah.
had a big meal, skated on this chick, left her with the whole thing. It was gonna eat her whole entire time working or whatever that she had
Yeah.
just. And I was like, I got you. I'm not letting this happen on my watch. And I paid for their whole thing. And then Pate stood up and I was like, what's up, dude? And I went and sat with him. We chatted for a little bit. We actually sat on the whole plane flight and like caught up. And major shout out to him. He's a part of the Discord chat and we love him so much. And that is a crazy story, dude.
Dude,
Good friend of mine. Yeah, he just
Yeah.
and I help coach his team in the USXBL.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, shoot, we'll lead off with his question then.
There we go.
All right,
Yeah.
let's go.
He goes, how sad would Marcelo be right now if they kept spinning you on the Dorito side in the finals? Also, who is the king of Slidell paintball? You or Crunchy?
Oh my God. I can't answer that question. But no, they should spin you on as the fucking one on the D side.
He was saying
No, he's saying you. So
me?
how sad would I
Yeah.
be if X Factor kept playing you? Essentially, if you would have got more spins, you guys would have won. I think is what he's getting at.
Yeah.
Guess
How's he said, I think Marcelo would have been pretty sad, you know?
we'll
Womp
never
womp
know.
womp.
Oh
He's got the golden
no.
barrel.
Yes, he did. He had it on that Christmas tree behind him there. Marsh
Yeah,
still
he put it as the star on the tree.
Yeah. For
That was
everybody,
recommended by the PTG group. That wasn't my
Right.
idea.
Oh, Marcelo.
this is true. This is true. I'll vouch for him on that. But Marsh keeps his tree till about March. That's how he does the Christmas tree life in his house. So we'll see the tree here for a little bit longer.
I would say the average over the last 7 years since I've lived in my own place is about February. So
Yeah.
2 years ago, I did keep it all the way until March. Last year, I think it was like February. Usually it's at least in here all of January, right? But I don't know why. I just, I'm like trying to move. So I'm trying to tidy up as much as I can. So I took the lights off. I'm going to have to take the tree out here in a couple days. It's really sad time, man.
Oh
time.
God.
Sad time.
What do you mean? You're moving?
Sad time. Yeah. Trying to.
Damn, dude. Big developments. All right.
Mhm.
Well,
Moving out to
I'll hop.
AZ.
There we go. All right, we got the Mole King. He's got a question. Which kung fu movie would you use to describe your style of play? We got 5 Deadly Venoms, 36 Chambers of Shaolin, Flying Guillotine, Fist of the White Lotus. What are we going with?
Was that third one again? That
was-
sounded crazy.
The Flying Guillotine.
Flying guillotine. I'll stick with that.
There we go. Dude, the Mole King, that is Tank Dangle. Shout out to him, all his
Nice.
support as well.
Hell yeah.
Big shout out.
Yep.
All right, from our boy, Mr. Oysterling. Jesse, as one of the aggest, if not the aggest player in the league, what's your preference? Beanie or head wrap?
I've been rocking my Astra beanie. Shout out to Dimitri Ninos over there.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go. Yeah.
I got a pretty cool beanie from him. The red star on the back. Shout out Meter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meter's
been
doing
rocking
great
mine
things.
as of lately.
Dude, we love him. Everything he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
We got Steve, SoCal Blaze. Jesse, you tend to be into extreme activities, which gets your heart rate going faster for Sunday finals with everything on the line, or getting the bear last year. He wants to know, like, what got your heart going the most?
Oh shit, the bear hunt was pretty intense.
Was it?
We haven't even talked. That's a whole nother conversation. We might save a whole nother podcast for that. 'cause
Give
that
us
was
the bullet points on that. What happened?
19 days, bro. Like we literally, so there's a time block that you can actually hunt a bear. And we were the last of all the guys and hunting groups that went out. Me and Diego were the last group to actually shoot something and get out of there. And he shot a bear and a wolf, right?
Oof.
The guy after us who got in like 12 hours after us didn't shoot anything. And that's a very expensive hunt. I'm not going to put a number on it, but
Yeah.
that's up there. It's
Yeah.
up there.
It's up there for sure.
It's
Yeah.
a car.
Yeah.
It's a mid-sized car. But
Yeah.
oh my God.
That was
What-
exhilarating, I'm
what a
sure.
mental and like physical just
Mhm.
test, a journey. And I mean, that was rough. We had long days, and the sun was up for 18 hours. And it was
Dang.
only dark for like 6. So just long days. And we were in a valley. So we had a campsite on one end where like the actual hunting ground and then the national park like started. So wherever we hiked out, we had to hike back. So if we hiked out 8 miles, you're doing 8 miles back. So that's a 16-mile day, and you're in
Sheesh.
full gear, and it's like 30 degrees. So, I mean,
That's the real deal.
it was the real deal.
Wow.
Especially seeing that dead bear.
Yeah, it was a monster. That picture on
You
your
don't-
Instagram is
You
crazy.
don't realize how incredibly large these apex predators really are until it's right there in front of you, and you realize like the actual paw and the claws and everything can wrap around your entire head, and
Yeah.
like
No.
how small you are in comparison to this thing who could just maul you at the blink of an eye. And
Yeah.
that's it. You're
Yeah.
dead.
I
You're
think
in the
that
middle of nowhere.
you're done. Yeah. I think that humanity has kind of lost grips with how impressive nature is. Really, we've been living this techie world with instant gratification, but it used to be the real deal. You had to go and fend for your life out there with these apex predators that would take you down if you weren't careful.
Oh
It's
yeah, you're nothing.
nothing.
You're a
Yeah.
fly on the wall to them,
Yeah.
And
Straight up.
I mean, it was insane. Like we're literally drinking water. We're filling up our camelbacks and stuff with from stream water coming from a glacier. Like that's as pristine as it gets. You're in the middle of
Mhm.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Just glacier water. Like that's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just everything about that whole trip was just absolutely absurd.
That's
And
the best.
So
like
cool.
I'm so thankful Diego even considered to bring me on that. And he was like, "You shouldn't say no. This is once in a lifetime." And I'm kind of like thinking like, bear hunt, really? Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Random, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden I'm in it and I'm like, oh shit, this is happening.
Yeah.
That's tight.
Being able to tap into the water and just being in nature, anytime you can get out there and be a part of nature, highly recommended. Get in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The wolf alone was like 120 pounds. Big,
Damn.
big white wolf.
Holy
Insane. I'll show
smokes.
you all the
Beast.
pictures later. I didn't want to post that up because I mean enough people were hating on me because I posted up the bear. They're like,
Yeah.
Really?
did you keep the meat? What did
Yeah.
you do? Well, you don't understand. Like we shot this 900-pound animal 5 miles away from camp and literally hiked through valleys and gullies, like literally like hiked down, cross a stream in, a wetsuit basically, walk
Yeah.
all the way up, go through another one, walk through like all this terrain and crazy like tundra, and then we shoot the bear on the side of a hill and shit. You want me to chop this thing up and then put 200 pounds on my back and then hike back?
I do, for
I
sure.
think that's exactly what they want you to do.
I know, right? I'm
Yeah.
Oh,
But just the anatomy class I got from the guide, I mean, sever the head, peeled the
Mhm.
skin off, everything. It was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And I definitely, I am for sure someone who likes to get the most out. If we're going to kill something, let's definitely make sure it goes back into us, into, the community, make something useful. If we could use the fur, use everything, use the bones, make tools, that's what it's all about right
Which
there.
what we did, I mean, he severed the head, they took the fur, like you
Yeah.
took the pelt, and that alone, like we had a guide and a packer with us. So we had a 4-man group, and the packer
Yeah.
had 80 pounds of just pelt
Mhm.
and skull on his back alone. And it's like bloody. Like it's already weighed down with all that shit. And I mean, I had to carry all of his shit, and Diego's got the rifle on his back and he's exhausted. Like we're all exhausted. And yeah, like looking back on it, like you probably could have like cut off the back strap and kept that or whatever. But this was day 19. We were over it. We were over it. We were like, it's done. It's over. Mission accomplished. Let's get the fuck out of here, And we were literally out within the next 4 or 5 hours.
mhm.
Had a beer at the camp. We did it and then got out of there. Cool. It's over.
Party's over.
Take me back. I want Wi-Fi. I've been looking at the same frozen Instagram screen for like 19 days straight, trying to charge my phone with a solar panel. You kidding me? Get me out of here.
That's a mission. Oh my God.
Bro, like we could spend a whole podcast on just
Yeah.
everything that went down and just sitting out there. We're glassing, which people who aren't familiar with glassing, you're sitting there with binoculars, just looking around for the bears, and we're in a valley. So we're watching like mama bear and the 2 bear cubs, like up in the snow in the mountains, and they're 5-6 miles away. We're waiting for them to come down, or it's at least a bigger bear to come down. And then,
Mhm.
so much of it is just luck. Like a 10-footer was in the valley. Diego and the hunter went after it. The wind picks up as they're like 90 yards away from it. And this motherfucker smells it and books it into the brush. We don't see anything for like a week straight after that. Nothing. And it's like, that was it. Like we just missed it. You know, we just missed the opportunity. It just came and went. And thankfully, we got one right towards the end, and we got the wolf on day like 14 or something like that. So little morale boost, but oh my God.
You guys were going
Sounds intense.
What a journey, man.
Yeah.
for sure.
Long days.
Yeah, I would like to not only hear more about that, but also experience something like that one day.
Oh, it's incredible.
It seems like a tremendous test. Yeah.
Everything. I think we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go whitetail hunting. He's actually gonna be in town this week. He wants to go whitetail hunting with Mike Bretto and everything. After World Cup, we went on a hog hunt, and that was fun. We did that after World Cup. They brought me down, and then we flew out of Miami and back to reality. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Back to
an avid
Instagram.
hunter. That Diego's an avid hunter. He's been all over the world hunting. I mean, he's gone to Argentina, New Zealand, like Chile, like all those. He's been on Africa for buffalo. He's done it all, man.
Damn. On a mission.
Oh yeah.
Huh. All right. So from CB2K, Sam Monville called you out in practice with Heat and Infamous at the World Cup practice over in X Factor Paintball Park, stating that you, the new guy, is trying to earn playtime, so I get it. Do you care to respond to those comments and what happened around that?
What was the context behind it, though?
I don't know if
When was this?
I don't know if it was
Sam-
you. I don't think it was him.
I don't think it was me.
Because
It
I was
was
going
a-
to say, you're
it's
not the
somebody
new
else.
guy.
No.
Yeah.
It's the actual new guy that's on the team.
I think it was Anthony.
I think
Anthony.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just typically something you say when it's like if you think someone's cheating you in practice, you know, and especially if they're new, it's like, oh, you're trying to earn playtime. I get it, you know? You even say it to players that, like, if they don't get a lot of playtime and you're playing them in practice and they're like studs, you know, but they're cheating. It's like, yeah, I get it. I get what you're doing.
Yep. Make him sweat a little. All right.
It
We
wasn't
got-
Jesse.
Answer
Sorry,
that.
CB.
Yep.
Sorry.
It wasn't
Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah, I remember that. I remember because we were at practice with him when it happened. Heat was out there, and it was definitely not Jesse. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Tyler can confirm all this. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
All right, we got Welshie. Hey Jesse, how did you like that 1v1 format that you played? And did you ever get your revenge against Meter at practice?
Well, we can't one-on-one each other at practice, but I was a little like that really stuck with me because I didn't feel as prepared as I should have, like conditioning wise, and how I kind of wanted to go about and play that format, which I would love to be able to play that again, especially now that I've actually kind of like, you know, I'm getting back into it full time now. That break really was brutal. And then we kind of just played the one-on-one format out of nowhere. They were just like, all right, we're playing. It's like, oh shit, better get ready for this. Let me start running, you know? But no, Meter, I just still feel like Meter should have won that. That was a really tight match with him and Fuzz, and there were a couple calls there that may have gotten missed, but I mean, we
Gotta have a
we
little bit
don't-
of luck.
We don't. Oh yeah. Meter's a baller too. But we were neck and neck in that match, and then I tried forcing the issue and trying to get to the buzzers, which hindsight 2020, I mean, probably should have played out the one-on-ones a little bit more methodically, and he ended up catching me. But we haven't been able to play some one-on-ones. I'm sure we'll get out there to Paintball Fit on our own time. JD's super cool. He lets us go out there whenever we want and play.
Yeah.
So.
I can't wait to.
Meter and I are always getting out there together anyway. We just we don't often get to just one-on-one. We're normally just trying to focus on other things.
Of
but,
course.
we'll definitely get into that. Those are always fun. I love playing one-on-ones too, because Sean and I Crunch and I used to always play one-on-ones against each other, half field one-on-ones, and just, you know, race to the 50 or whatever set up. So
I think it's such good advice for players to just play as many one-on-ones as you can. When you get into paintball, essentially every engagement is a little one-on-one. So you're going to learn these very pivotal styles of play by just playing a lot of one-on-ones as well.
yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. CM Harry says, what is your favorite style of paintball to play? X-ball, 7-man, hyperball, woods, and who's your favorite person who you played with on your team? So I guess past or present.
Ooh, that's tough. There's a lot of guys.
Gotta
on
choose
the
one, dude.
team. Yeah. Mhm.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to do anything you don't want to.
My favorite format is definitely X-ball. with 7-man being a close second.
Mhm.
Wish we could see that again. But I guess my favorite teammate, I would have to say, I got to give a huge shout out to my boy Colt Roberts. He's taken me under his wing from the get-go, and he's always been in my ear. He's always been Papa Bear in so many ways. He's just
Mm.
really groomed me and just always been there for me,
Colt
always a guy
45,
that I
dude.
can call, and and if I'm going through something or I gotta vent about something, he's always there for me. So going back for years too. And I mean, he was the guy who initially reached out to me and at the beginning of, or the end of 2011 or the beginning of 2012, and said, "Hey, we need a little B short style player to get in the snake, and I think that could be you. So you should show up to this pro tryout." And that's the tryout I ended up going to with Billy Bernaccia, and he ended up making the team, and I was the number 2 guy. And Ryan told me, we want you on the practice squad, and the rest is history. So
There it is, man.
yeah, but I could talk about every single one of my teammates on X Factor. I mean, Meter's like one of my closest friends. I mean, that guy's been just, like a brother to me for so long. And Rainey changed my paintball career.
How
Like,
so?
that's a whole, I mean, when he came on to X Factor in 2019, I think he made it a point to, get in my ear and help me out and try and help me get to that next level, hit that next gear. And I think he harped on a lot of points with me just within my game to work on, between just, when the game gets tighter and communication and little things. Because he would fly in early and we would spend time together, go get sushi, hang out, go to the field, go through shots, look at the layout together, and he'd just be in my ear telling me what the things that I needed, just giving me the play by play. And Rainey's always been like that. He has such a mind for the game. And there's so many things that he's done for me, and he's been tough on me throughout the past few years. And we've clashed at times, but it can be so productive too, because he's like, I've had so much respect for him coming up and with his history and everything, to where it's like, yeah, we'll bicker like brothers and shit, but like, I know he has his best intentions and he wants to win. He wants to get me to that next level so that he can win, like so on and so forth. And I appreciate and I love it so much. And I've tried to be so much of a sponge around him and just take in all of that, even if he's just getting on me and he's tearing into me. Like, I know he has his best intentions, and there's so many things, there's so many layers to this onion that he's helped supplement my game and help me kind of, take that next step, hit that next gear. And, I'm forever in debt. And, like, all those guys, Archie's helped me out tremendously. Like, there's so many guys on the team that have helped me tremendously. My relationship with Ryan Brand, Alex, all those guys, like, it's legitimately like a family. And I mean, I couldn't be more blessed and more thankful to have all these people in my life and just be involved and be a part of this team, and I truly feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And
Yeah. You're fortunate, brother.
I could not be more thankful for it. And just, everyone's helped to give a piece of themselves to me and help me, and I feel like there's still so much left in the tank. And I feel like I haven't even hit my stride. I haven't even touched my potential. Like, I'm only just like really getting my feet under me. And,
Yeah.
it's just, that's the beauty of this game. It's constantly evolving, and so are we.
Well, it's full circle too, because like you said, everyone's given you a piece of them, but you also fuel a lot of that energy as well and keep people hungry to go out there. So it's definitely full circle, and you're super fortunate, man. Shout out to the X Squad. We got Chris Tucker, one of our mods in the PTG chat. He said on A-Rod's episode, he states that he thinks he played with you on Palm Beach Vipers. Do you remember playing together?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
We played on Palm Beach Vipers. So I played on the Palm Beach Vipers from
Sounds like it was a good time.
2009
Yeah.
to 2010. I was there with Spica. Spica was there too, and we still talk about it. Like, we were all in the same camp around the same time. I mean,
Dope.
A-Rod guested for an event, and we just so happened to be on like one of the throw together squads.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny. Like, yeah,
So
we
did
were
you-
on that squad together.
Legendary. Did you guys picture that one day you guys would all be playing, pro ball at the top level?
I mean, like, isn't that always the dream? But it's like you never like really think about it like that, like meeting up. It's like it's
Yeah.
just like these characters like kind of coming in and out of your life, and then like we meet each other at this certain point, and it's like, oh shit,
Yeah. Look at us.
glad
Yeah.
to see how far you've come.
Look at us
Like,
now.
I mean, as soon as like after that roster tryout, I was still kind of like I was on the practice squad, but I wasn't on the actual team. And I mean, I was like helping Pitt and stuff for X Factor and the Galveston event that ended up being canceled in 2012, the one where the monsoon came through or whatever the fuck. And I remember I was out there and the Ironman we were about to plan. That was A-Rod's first event. We kind of locked eyes and I was like, oh shit, dude, congrats, bro. You're in it. You know?
Yep.
And the
Love
rest is
it.
history. I mean, he's become a fucking stud.
Yep.
One of the nastiest center players ever. So
Mhm.
a lot of love for that guy.
I'm excited to see him play on the Saints. This is going to be exciting stuff. 2022.
It'll be
Mhm.
good because like similar to the situation with when he left Dynasty and he went back to the Ironman for the
Yeah.
COVID event, like he had
Mhm.
something to prove. And I think he really had a chip on his shoulder. And
Yep.
he came out to that event and I still to this day, I don't think I've ever seen the middle played so like it was just so effortless. Like that semifinals match he had with Revo at that event, he was running through and shooting like 2-3 bodies, what seemed like every point.
Mhm.
Maybe that's a little off, but like he would just run through and take 2-3 bodies, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like this guy's
Yeah.
just on fire, you know. And then he took that into the rest of the event, got the MVP, and I
Yeah.
think he needs to be on a team like that. He needs to be on a team where he has the reins, and I think what's going to help is that Shorty's going to be coaching and he knows what he has. So he's going to give that guy,
Yeah.
he's going to let him run.
I know.
It'll be
I was.
good. And I
I
think
was.
you need to let a guy like that shoot and
Mhm.
then go do your thing.
100%. Yeah, I was actually talking with Short when I was in LA this last weekend. I went to the HK headquarters and talking with Short about, he's going to be coaching the team and he's got, before the news broke, we were already talking like, you're getting A-Rod. That's pretty cool, and he's stoked for a fun season with that squad.
Yeah, I think he's going to help them out tremendously.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Short's the man.
Yeah, they're coming out to practice us first weekend of February. We're
Yep.
doing a team get together and we're going to go see a Spurs game and all that. And get
There we go.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's that culture, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You gotta
it's
do that.
crucial.
We're doing a bunch of things. It'll be great,
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the very last question I've got from the Discord is from our man Droog. Why do you think, simply because we haven't had our tinfoil hat session yet. There we go. Why do you think we're not allowed to fly over Antarctica?
Tinfoil hat talk.
Is it because the Earth is flat?
Maybe.
They don't want us to see?
Maybe. Shout out to David Mullis, the first form plug. The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
Oh no.
Oh.
There's something going on out there.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think it's just like the magnetic field messes with the airplanes, with the navigation system, something like that. At least that's what they tell us.
That's right. That's
what they
correct.
tell us.
Yeah, it's the electromagnetic field.
Yeah.
Stay away from it.
Huh. Yeah, your plane will just get zapped down and disappear into the Bermuda Triangle.
See ya.
See ya. Why do you think, Jesse?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Got me. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but who knows?
Is the Earth round or is it flat?
I think so. But
You think so? What?
the Earth's round, man.
It's round. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Me too. That's what I believe too.
To stand firm, stand firm. All right. My last one is Dorfster. We got to get Dorfster. Your on-field role, how do you expect that to change as you're going to be, essentially filling Archie's spot that is left to Dynasty now?
It's just time to step up. I want opportunities like this. I want to be in those situations. I wanted to be out there more in the finals. So it's I'm ready for it, man. And we have a lot of guys. Like, we're gonna have a great rotation, and I mean, I'm stoked across the board. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do my thing. I've been Manu Ginobili now for a little bit, that sixth man, and
Let's go.
I've been able to own that role, and I was fine with it. I play around a bunch of Hall of Famers. Like, I get it. Like I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna own my role, and I'm gonna do what you need me to do. you know, and just the more reps I'm able to get, and you know, the more on-field time, it's just gonna help me grow even more. So I'm ready for it. I'm up for the task, and you know, I'm a savage. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
on it. You know damn well I'm gonna be there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bloody nose and everything. Come on.
That's right. Let's go. Oh, also, before we let you go, Big Daddy, he's got one. He says, "Who's your pick for the iconic pod runner of 2022, and why is it Sasha from the Dragoons?"
Sasha's a dog, bro. Sasha's the runner. You know?
Yep. Hell yeah.
He's cool.
Dude, we love you so much, Jesse. We are so
love you
excited
guys.
to see you very soon
man.
for more paintball, man. And
Yeah.
is there the tinfoil hat's coming off.
Uh-oh.
Is
Yeah,
there
no.
any shout outs you want to give before we let you go, or just anything that you want to say? Maybe an Instagram handle tag so they can follow you as well, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's Jesse _ Stevens with a PH, not a V. Yeah,
Yep.
follow me. I'm probably gonna do a big giveaway. I think I'm sitting at right at like 4,400.
There we go.
If I get up to 5, I want to get up to 6K by the end of the year. But if I get to 5 before the first event, I'll do a giveaway.
Let's get
Or
you to
not-
10K, baby. We need
Yeah.
those double
We'll get-
digits.
we'll get to
10K. Let's go.
With all these reels, I mean, are you kidding?
Let's go.
Rye guy's on point with it. I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
the metrics on that. I mean, it's
PTG World, show out, man. Jesse has
Yeah.
good content. Give the young
Yeah.
man a follow.
Yes.
But no, man, just shout out to the community in general. I mean, I love to see everybody getting involved, you know, putting out content, doing all these great things for the sport, and just being more involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible, and like it's something very near and dear to my heart to see everybody just getting more involved and just giving love to everybody. It's awesome. I mean, at the end of the day, like when we're in those nets together, I mean, we're out there to put it on one another, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know, like I've looked up to you guys for so damn long. Like, grew up watching both of you, and to just, you know, be within that same realm and just even, you know, be sitting here having these conversations with you, it's just incredible. Like,
Dude,
it's
you
awesome.
inspire us.
It's a dream come true, and we need to do this again. There's
Yeah.
plenty more stories to go. I didn't even get to hit on all my teammates, but
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm
let's go.
stoked for 2022. Yeah.
You
I'll
have
be
a
back.
seat here at the PTG roundtable anytime you want, man. So we'll have you back on soon for sure. Appreciate
Yeah.
your time, brother.
No,
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you guys. Thank you so much.
All love, dude. We'll see you soon. Be safe
Yes,
out there.
sir. Later.
Peace.
All right, everybody. That was a great episode. Jesse is one of my favorite players, to be honest. I love watching him play. I love who he is as a person, and getting to have him on the show was truly an honor. So excited to see what he gets to do and how he continues to carve out his path in the professional division. PTG listeners, if you guys would like to support the show, there's a great way you can do so. You can head over to ptgpaintball.com, check out our website, and click the Patreon link. You can sign up at any level and get access to our Discord. So many cool perks and conversations going on in the Discord. We do tons of awesome giveaways and contests and different things that are very interactive and fun with the community. And again, like I said, it's a great way to support the show and what Tyler and myself are doing. We are incredibly thankful. Thank you. So again, as always, you guys already know the drill. We will see you very, very soon.